broadcasting sports. It's time for Pierre Governor Sports on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors are brought to you by Bank West, Allied Plumbing, Beck Motors, Home Care Services, Venture Communications, Vilas Pharmacy, Todd's Electric, State Farm Insurance, CHS River Plains, and Xander Auto Parts.
Coming out the timeout, Elijah Bucci with the snap. He goes left side. Down to the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Governors! They've got the lead with 8 seconds to go.
And by Wheelhouse Auto Body, Slumberland, SD7, Shane's Pharmacy, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, First Fidelity Bank, Country Carpet and Flooring, and Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping.
This will be tapped over. See if the Governors again can take advantage of Waldron set for Cronin. There's your win. In set one, 32-30. Campbell Cronin with 8 kills in the first set.
And by Wagner Auto, Sanford Clinic, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Envirotech, First National Bank, and Faith Lutheran Church.
As the Governors get across midfield, LaRush now with some open space, looking to send one through forward for Aharts. It comes in. Aharts, he scores! Keith Aharts from LaRush, and it's a 1-0 lead.
And by Cougar Climate Systems, River Bottom Sanitation, Rising Hope Counseling, Pizza Ranch, Olson Plumbing, Dakota Storm Roofing, Ferding Electric, James Valley Landscaping, Lamb Motors, May Adam, and First Dakota National Bank.
Sheldon will lose the ball. The Pierre Governors, they fall on it. They're going to the Dome. The Governors, scoreless, 8 seconds remaining, and they win it 14-9.
And by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Cougar Contracting, Karsten Erickson Roofing, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, and First United Methodist Church. And now to the booth with the call of the game and the voice of the Pierre Governors, John Winkler.
And a good evening as we welcome you here to Yankton Crane Youngworth Field as the Pierre Governors and Yankton Bucks revisit the rivalry. Last year, the Pierre Governors were blown out at home on homecoming. Now this year, they come to Yankton on homecoming, but no, you can't forget about how the season ended last year here in Yankton as the Governors had one more game. They won, as you just heard, in the open 14-9 over Yankton in the state semifinal. You want a little bit of reversal of fortune from last year's in the regular season, but Mendel, the winner of this game might have the upper hand in terms of having home field advantage in the playoffs. But as you know, it's going to be in November when it counts. This is a good test for both these teams to see how they match up against each other here in late September.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams are familiar with each other and traditionally have ended up, whoever's going to the Dome is going through one or the other if they don't both go there. So just a really good rivalry game, and you always want to test yourself against your rival and see how you're matching up, and each year's different, so you got to decide, is this a year that we got to improve this to keep up with them, or are we good?
Both teams are 3-1 of the season right now, but there's 6 teams in 11 AA that are 3-1. Now, on one side, this is a group here for the Pierre Governors that at 3-1, they will still play a team like Sturgis, who is 3-1. They still have Spearfish on the schedule. That they have teams that are 3-1 that they'll end up playing before we get to the end of the regular season. Yankton, on the other hand, they're 3-1. Their only loss is to 11 AAA Harrisburg, and those top teams, 11 AAA. If you have to play them, good luck. You're not going to be, that's kind of a toss-out game for Yankton from last Friday. There's a lot at stake in terms of, if you don't win this game, there's a little bit of a feeling of, the back could be against the wall to even host in the first round because of how everybody else is winning football games right now in 11 AA. There's a lot at stake in this ball game, always is, but a little bit more at stake in terms of seeding here tonight.
Yeah, I think that does impact the importance of this game, maybe more than a normal regular season game where, yeah, you want to win in the playoffs or you want to win the second contest for sure. But I think there is more riding on this game than maybe typically for a September game because, as you said, Pierre has a couple other 3-1 teams on their schedule. They can kind of somewhat control their own fate, but you lose to Yankton, that gives them that edge, and you certainly want to be home for as many playoffs games as you can.
This offense for the Pierre Governors trying to continue to figure things out. You know, the two home games, especially the first one, a throwaway game because the field conditions in the first game weren't favorable with it. The Governor offense didn't play well against Huron. Really got things going against Watertown, and then under poor field conditions again last week at home, they did what they had to do to get the win. This is a good test for this offense to see what they do against a good defense. Playing field, other than it being warm tonight, playing surface, everything weather-wise is good. This is a opportunity for this Pierre Governor offense to really see what their ceiling is this year against a team like the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah, I think, as you said, it's a perfect night. A little warm earlier, but the sun's going to go down. It's going to cool off. There's the flag's hanging straight down, and you're on turf, so you don't have to worry about mud or bad footing or something like that. So definitely a good game to gauge where they're at offensively. And then, with Yankton, their offense, it's a good game for Pierre to gauge where they're at defensively as well, because Yankton certainly can be dangerous on offense.
Yankton probably feeling the same way. Their defense has got 5 defensive touchdowns, and outside of playing Watertown, who they were able to really roll and had a little bit of trouble with Huron, who turns out to be a really good team right now at 3-1. They've got 5 defensive touchdowns, but I think they're also saying, well, now we get to really gauge where our defense is and how we handle this Pierre Governor offense. And the same for the Yankton offense is, okay, this Pierre Governor defense, has not allowed more than 20 points in a game. 19 points is the most they've allowed so far in a game. That they get a good judge of where they're sitting at now at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's a rivalry game. It's always going to be a big game, but, this year you have homecoming for Yankton. And you have Pierre losing on homecoming last year to them, so it's a little bit of a convergence there of where there might be some thoughts of don't let it happen to us and things like that. But certainly emotional rivalry game. They weren't going to have any trouble getting up for Pierre, especially the way the playoff game ended last year and everything like that. They're going to be ready, and you just add in homecoming and add in a test of 2 3-1 teams, and should be an awesome game.
The crowd has continued to file in. We're still 20 minutes away from game time, and there is a lot of people already here filling up the seats at Crane Youngworth Field here in Yankton. We will step aside. We will come back and start our conversations with our coaches. We'll talk with Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks, followed by Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Planting for next year is right around the corner, but do you know how much nutrients your crops will need? Fall soil sampling with CHS River Plains can help you look at each field's nutrient carryover, provide you with a more accurate farm plan, and allow you to take a position on those nutrients needed when you see fit. Plus, it'll make your life easier next spring when the planters are ready to roll and you don't have to wait. Contact your local CHS River Plains agronomist today, and we'll get the pickup headed your way.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As we welcome back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Join me as Coach Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks as they get set to take on the Pierre Governors here this evening. Coach, it's a big game, always is, between Pierre and Yankton. Always a lot of fun when these two teams meet up. I think I say this every time we get on for a pregame interview. But when you look at this game and you look at facing the Pierre Governors, you know, ask Coach Steele the same question: is do you try and downplay that you're playing Pierre? Do you downplay the rivalry between the two teams and try and treat it, especially right now in Week 5, that it's just another football game?
Well, you try really hard to, but I mean it's a difficult task just because Pierre has been a program that has had a lot of success here recently, and so yeah, I mean in the grand scheme of things, it's just another football game. But I think if you think you're going to get by this game without at least addressing that or acknowledging that, then I think you're blind. You have to, be real with athletes and tell them exactly what it is. That being said, I mean, the only thing that really matters is the present. And so, there's been successes and failures on, both programs. One has been more successful than the other playing in this game, but, you can't dwell on that too much.
When you look at this Pierre team on film, they're 3-1. You guys are obviously 3-1 too. But what stands out to you about this Pierre Governor team that maybe is a little bit different, or something that you've seen from other Pierre Governor teams? What kind of stands out to you when you watch film?
Well, I think they're an awful lot like us, where you've got, we graduated a lot of guys last year. We only brought back 3 on offense and 4 on defense, and Pierre is a lot like that. But that being said, the people they're bringing back are guys that play maybe a little bit more significant roles in either an offense or a defense. And so, I mean, anytime you return your quarterback, I think that's an advantage. The one thing I would say that with Pierre when you're playing them is, there's faces that come and go, and, names change on the depth chart, on the scouting report, but it's still Pierre, and they still do a really good job of getting people in the right spot and then making sure they highlight their special players.
And the same for you guys too is, can Pierre Governor fans expect kind of the same what Yankton Buck offense has looked like over the last, quite some time, however many years? Is it kind of looking the same? What's maybe different about what they might see Friday night when they watch this game?
Every year you try to kind of shape your scheme a little bit to your personnel. But I would tell you one thing that we really try to do is stay true to who we are and make sure that we keep our same identity year in and year out. We try to be consistent with who we are and the way we play football. And so there will be some differences, just like I said, a lot like with Pierre. You've got some different guys playing spots, and so we might have some strengths in other places that we didn't last year. Those places that were strengths last year might be weaknesses for us. But we're still the same team offensively. We try to keep balance, and we try to take what the defense gives you. defensively, we try to play an attacking style of defense that's gap sound and make sure we try to keep all the football on our belly, so to speak, keep everything in front of us. And we try to play really tough physical defense. So from that aspect, nothing has changed. But there may be some things schematically. But I would tell you from a coach's point of view, we don't really get too caught up in that. And that's a big part of that is because we're living in the here and now.
Absolutely. You get talking with Coach Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks. Pierre and Yankton coming up here later on this evening. Going back to the offense, you talked about your offense a little bit. Really balanced run pass game. It seems like watching film that it's hard to predict what's going to be coming, whether it be a run or a pass, because you guys are balanced. I would say probably almost 50-50, barring a blowout game that you guys have had with the win over Douglas, that you're pretty much playing 50-50 in terms of pass and rushing.
Yeah, and I would say, while I think when we talk about balance, we don't get too caught up in run pass balance. What we try to balance is our touches that our players get. And so, the one thing I think that's one thing we got to work on is maybe sometimes we target certain individuals more than others. But in this last game, we did a really good job of spreading the ball out and proving to ourselves and everybody else that everybody on the field is a weapon and everybody can contribute.
One thing, I know we talked about what the Pierre Governors can do that you've seen on film. They've had 4 games, which, it's going to be on turf tonight, and they've played those 2 games. 2 of those 4 games have been on turf, but they've played in 2 bad weather condition games. And those games on film, one being this last Friday, do you draw anything from that? What can you take away from those games whenever field conditions are as poor as they are and the game plan looks a lot different than maybe what they have been when they've been playing on the road against Huron and Watertown?
Yeah, that may be a tendency, 4 games in, it's a little bit too early to really tell if that's a tendency or not. What you're seeing with the way that the game plan is evaluated, the one thing in those games that you cannot do is you cannot, degrade somebody's performance because of field conditions. And that's been the thing when we've, with film breakdown and film study, when you're grading, because we go through and we grade everybody's performance on the other team every game. And you have to, I don't want to say cut some slack, but take that into understanding a little bit that everybody's playing on a neutral playing surface. Everybody's playing on the same field. And when you look at it from that way, Pierre still has some really special athletes. Their athletes, even in bad weather games, they're still making more plays than the teams that they're playing in those conditions. And so that tells us all we need to know is that, when it comes down to it, their roster is still very solid and they've got some really great players on it.
Going into week 5, halfway point of the season, halftime is that halfway point of the regular season. What's been what you really love about this Yankton Bucks team so far through the first 4.5 games, or I guess 4 games right now? But then what's something that when you look at through the first 4 games, saying, hey, this is what we need to be better at going into the second half of the year?
The thing I really like about this group is they're a resilient bunch. We've been in some games where we've been punched in the mouth a little bit and got our nose bloodied and just kind of put our head down and went right back to work and had some success. That's the thing I love about this bunch and their attention to detail and how much that they want to be great. Their work ethic has been a lot of fun. It's been refreshing to be around. The thing we got to get a little bit better at is I'm never satisfied with the physicality of our team. And so I will always tell you the thing that, and I tell our guys this too, that we're never physical enough. And so getting to the halfway point, we need to be way more physical if we expect to have a deep playoff run in November.
All right, then final question as we wrap things up. Biggest key here for the Yankton Bucks to get a win tonight against Pierre?
Obviously turnovers. That's every coach is going to say turnovers. They're going to play a big part of the game and ability to run the ball and stop the ball. But the thing that we kind of had circled on our bulletin board at the start of the week is we have to limit big plays. That's one thing. Even Pierre, this season they still make a lot of big plays, and that speaks a lot to the confidence that their coaches have in their players and the confidence that their players have in the game plan and their ability to execute. And so, we've got to make sure that we understand that when a big play or when a big play is going to happen, that we understand that we're ready for the situation and we're playing sound defense or sound offense, depending on what side of the ball we're on.
Well, Coach, hey, I appreciate the time. As always, it is always fun talking to you. Looking forward to this game tonight. Good luck tonight, and good luck the rest of the season.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you. As that is Coach Brady Muth of the Yankton Bucks. Back with more of the pregame show next year on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Is it time for a fresh look underfoot? Tired of worn out carpets or outdated flooring? Then you need to visit Country Carpet and Flooring in Pierre. We're your local experts for every style, from plush carpets and durable laminates to elegant hardwoods and luxury vinyl. Discover hundreds of options from top name brands, all with our friendly expert service. Visit Country Carpet and Flooring at 414 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre, or call us at 605-224-9297. Country Carpet and Flooring. Your floor, your style, our expertise.
As we welcome back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Join me as Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors. Big matchup tonight against the Yankton Bucks, and there's a lot at stake. Always is when these two teams play. But after the last week win against Brookings, going into this Yankton game, does it feel like you're preparing for two separate teams, but two different styles of gameplay between Brookings and Yankton?
Yeah, I mean they're about as polar opposite as you can get. Obviously, Brookings wanted to run the ball. I think we had 3 possessions the first half, maybe 4 possessions in the second half. We might have 7 possessions in the first quarter. Just depending on how the game goes today. With Yankton's pace. So definitely a challenge to figure out how to replicate that. It always is every year, but it's always a lot of fun just because it's so different.
And this has been especially over the last pretty much, well, I wouldn't say 10 plus years. Farther back than that, the big rivalry game. It's a 3.5-hour drive between Pierre and Yankton, but both these teams always compete very well, and always, just because you win the regular season doesn't mean you win the postseason. Because you guys lost last year in the regular season and won in the postseason. A couple of times it's happened over the course of the last several years, but just a big rivalry game for both teams to kind of see where they stand in Class 11 AA.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a big game for a lot of reasons. None more than just playoff seeding at this point, too. There's going to be quite a few teams jockeying for those top few spots, and a home game's very, very critical to have in the playoffs. You get to the semifinals, it's even more important if you can be one of those top 2 seeds, and the loser of this game is going to have a tough time getting there. Not that it's impossible, but you're going to need some help if you lose this game. So, there's a lot on the line tonight.
When you look at this Yankton team on film, and they run a similar offense every single year, high tempo, up tempo offense. What maybe stands out that is a little bit different from maybe last year's team to this year's team?
Yeah, I mean they're still very, very similar. More similar than most of the teams, I would say. They've got an outstanding slot receiver that does well. They've kind of got a taller possession receiver. They've got a running back that can kind of hammer. Their fullback, I would say, is probably their biggest difference. They do a few different things, utilizing their fullback than they have. Where their fullback before, kind of more of a just a heavier running back. He was more of a run guy. Their fullback this year when he comes in is a little bit more of a blocking centric player. So they do some different things out of it. Their quarterback runs a little bit more by design. Before I think they were a little bit more on the scramble side for running. I think their run game with the quarterback's a little bit more intentional this year.
In a team like that, what Yankton likes to do, do you talk about controlling the ball? Obviously, you want to go down and score every time you have possession, but is it a Pierre Governor teams of past where you just get up and go and both teams move very, very fast? Is this a slower possession type of game for the Pierre Governors to try and, keep the defense fresh for you guys, but also keep that offense off the field as much as possible for the Yankton side?
Yeah, I don't know that slow down the pace is exactly what you're looking at. It's more just, have drives. offensively, we've got to move the football. And if we score, if we score in one play, that's fantastic. Points are the most important thing. But ultimately, we've got to find ways. 3 and outs will be hard for both teams today. Because obviously, if they go 3 and out, their 3 and out could take about 4 seconds off the clock, and their defense is back out. Our 3 and out could put our defense back out there playing a hurry up style defense. So, I think that would probably be the most important part from both teams' perspective. I would guess is you don't want any 3 and outs.
This Pierre Governor team has had to deal with a lot of different elements, but now the third game on the road, another good weather day, obviously maybe a little bit warmer than the other two, but still nice to have some clear skies and good field conditions to play a football game.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to know that you're not going to have to completely throw away the game plan because of weather. Obviously you can have other things happen. Probably should knock on something wood there, but it's good to know that you should be able to play in what you're expecting to play in. There shouldn't be a huge surprise, full week of practice and all those things. So it's exciting just knowing that both teams will be fully prepared for this game.
We're at the halfway point of the season. At halftime, it's the halfway point of the regular season for the game tonight. When you look at what the first half has been for the Pierre Governors, what's something that has been very, very good that you've seen, but then something that, not necessarily is bad, but something that needs to be better as the second half goes along for this Pierre Governor team to be successful at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think you're seeing us progress. I think we have progressed every week. I think it's looked a little bit different every week. Again, like this last week, we were a little bit more sheltered on offense, and defensively they had to adjust to, again, tough footing and still holding gaps and mud. So, but they did. I think that's the most important part of last week is they found a way to win the game. And I think we've progressed. We obviously had the one tough game in here on offensively, but defensively they were fantastic. So, I think that you're seeing the progression. I think we're happy with where we're at. You'd like to not have the black mark on your resume right now, but it's there, so there's no changing it. But really, outside of just continuing to take that step forward each and every week, I think we're right on track for where we need to be.
Injury-wise, how's everybody doing leading up to the fifth game of the season?
Yeah, knock on wood again here, but I think we're doing pretty good. We're decently healthy. There's always the bumps and bruises at this point, but nothing outstanding.
Biggest key here for the Governors to get a win tonight now against Yankton.
Yeah, I think the most important part defensively against the Yankton team is always to get lined up fast. They kind of thrive on that chaos that the tempo brings on. So if we can get lined up, get our eyes right, communicate at a high level, that'll be crucial on that side of the ball. Offensively, no 3 and outs, no quick turnovers. The only way we're off the field within 3 plays is if it's a touchdown. If we can do that, ensure that our defense is either getting a break or point support, one or the other, then I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach, appreciate the time as always. Looking forward to the game tonight, and we'll talk to you in the postgame.
Thanks, John.
That's head coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors, back with more of the pregame show after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Have you assessed your roof at your home or business? Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters can help. Since 2010, Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters has been helping their customers in Pierre, Fort Pierre, and all surrounding areas. With over 20 years experience, the professionals at Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters know how to get the job done. Specializing in all types of roofing, they'll make sure to find the right fit for you and your home. Give them a call at 605-280-9794 or get a free quote on their website at dakotastormroofing.com. Dakota Storm Roofing and Gutters. Reliable roofing for your peace of mind.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627. And we welcome you back as we are getting set for kickoff between the Pierre Governors and the Yankton Bucks. John Winkler alongside Mendel Miller as you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. They are just about to do the coin toss down the field. Actually, I guess they have done the coin toss already. And Yankton has won the toss, and they elect to receive. I think, Mendel, whoever won the toss, a smart decision to take the ball first. A lot of times, these two teams don't necessarily need to take the ball, both Pierre and Yankton, but in a game like this, I think it's good to take the ball right away.
Yeah, I think they both teams have a lot of confidence in what they're doing, and you get up, get that first score, get some confidence going and things like that. That can be huge for for a football team, especially in a rivalry game. You want to take advantage of that emotion. Maybe the defense is a little too amped up and things like that. Get out of position. You can hit a big play or just take advantage and really get some really good field position and push them back.
Well, the Pierre Governors, Carter Templeton will be the one that will be kicking away for the Governors. Carter Boomsma and Miles Drotzman should be back deep for the Yankton Bucks. Well, they've changed that up. It's Owens Idness, along with also, I believe, number 16, Tegan LaCroix, be the two. Or is that number 15?
I think it's 16. I think
16.
it's
I
LaCroix.
was to say, I think it is. Yeah, it is going to be LaCroix and Idness that are back deep. We're about set for some homecoming football for Yankton, Pierre Governors, and Yankton Bucks. It is another addition to this rivalry. Red versus green. The Yankton in their red home jerseys and red helmets. The Governors in their green helmets and white jerseys. As the kickoff will come for the 40-yard line, Carter Templeton will kick this one away. Band might have started playing a little bit too early. They're still holding that note, waiting for that kickoff. Here we go, another addition to the Pierre rivalry with Yankton. Kick is away, and it'll go down the field, received by LaCroix. Out to the 20, to the 25 on the near side, to the 30, and he will be tackled at around the 36, 37-yard line. And they will spot it actually at the 38, where the Governors and defense will come out with that Yankton offense. And they have a lot of pressure and a lot of up-tempo offense to start this ballgame. Coach Steele mentioned it. Got to be lined up quickly. Have to be ready to go for that next snap right after the first down play, whether it's 1st and 10 again or 2nd and long. You have to be ready to go defensively. That quarterback in Tate Bestie with the running back in Jason Sedlacek in the backfield. He'll get the handoff on 1st down as he'll be to the 40-yard line, out to around the 41, about a gain of 3. Max Schmitz is over there on the tackle. First man to start to get a piece of him was Will Eilers, and a gain of 3, and it's 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, just real basic run there to the weak side to start out and kind of just figure out what Pierre's going to do.
3 receivers out far side, shotgun formation here for Bestie. Receiver here lone on the near side. As Bestie will drop back to pass, he'll roll to his right. Now will throw down the field. Has a man open. The catch will be made. It'll be a 1st down out to the 40-yard line as the catch is made by number 14 and Cale Hazelhorse, and it's a 1st and 10 for the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah, he's a big target, 6'3", 6'4". Got nice little out pattern deep out there in front of the safety and gathered it in, went up and got it with a hands catch.
Gain of 19 as 1st and 10 here for Yankton at the Governor 40-yard line. Isnes goes in motion. He'll go around the quarterback. Now Sedlacek will get the handoff. Going right side. He's got a good gain on 1st down as he'll go across the 35, going outside the hash marks. It'll be down to 33, a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, again, similar to the first play they had on 1st down in the first possession, just an off tackle. They're trying to establish some ground game and get Pierre sucked up to the line.
Sedlacek goes in motion again. He'll hand it off. Well, Bestie to Sedlacek, who came in motion. He's going to 1st down as he'll move inside the 30 to around the 27-yard line. Another good gain of 6, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Yankton Bucks.
Brought down by number 14, Porter Huntley.
Yeah, good movement there. Their line's big, and they're coming off the ball and creating some holes. A little orbit motion there to get Pierre's eyes in different places.
66 rushes through 4 games for Sedlacek. He is the featured back and mostly the only featured back other than when Bestie runs. He'll drop back to pass here, throw near side. That's a bobble that eventually is still caught, and it'll be near the 1st down sticks as it ended up being the tackle made by number 0 in Hudson Schaefer. And it's a gain of about 8 again. This one caught by number 9, as that was by Talon Kenny.
Yeah, just tight end on a little rub route there across the middle. There was a lot of congestion. Pierre's defenders kind of ran into each other.
So now a handoff going right side, 1st down for Yankton as they move inside the red zone. It'll be to the 14-yard line as that handoff went to Carter Boomsma, and a big 1st down gain for the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah, a little shovel pass there to Boomsma coming around, and you can see that Yankton really wants to do a lot of things. Their power run and the motion and the shovel pass.
Ended up being about a gain of 5 on that play. Now a handoff for Sedlacek going up the middle again, and he will have it inside the 10-yard line. So now the 9, a gain of 5 for Sedlacek, who has run the ball 4 times for 21 yards. And it's second down and 5 here for Yankton.
Pierre's got to take advantage here of that low red zone. There's less space to defend, so you got to suck it up and stop that initial inside run.
Handoff here for Sedlacek again. He'll try and get to that left side. He was able to slip through a tackler. He goes down short of the line to gain as the tackle was made by Sam Larson, who was one of our players of the game last week with having a fantastic second half. Picked up about 3, and it's third down and 2 now for Yankton. First time we've seen a third down for this Yankton Bucks team as they're inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line at the 6. They need to get to around the 4-yard line. Will be another handoff up the middle. Be stopped short of the line to gain. Carson Krall's first run was met by that defensive line, a gain of 1, and it's 4th and 1 from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like a nice play there by Cruz Williams. I think he just came in for that play, and as Pierre kind of loaded up on an extra defensive lineman there, come off the block and slanted into the ball carrier, made a nice secure tackle.
So here it is, 4th and 1 from the 5. They're going to get to the 4, more about a half yard to pick up. Isis goes in motion. They'll hand it off to Krall. He's got a first down. He'll get to the end zone. He fumbled the football. And will they say it is a touchdown? He got in before he lost the football. And Yankton will score first with 7:51 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, he definitely got hit and dropped the ball, but he was about a yard in past the goal line, so they're going to count that. But yeah, 4th and 1, and the left side of the Yankton line did a good job of moving bodies, and he didn't get hit till he was about at that goal line.
So now the extra point upcoming. That took 4 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. 7:51 to go here in the first quarter, and Yankton will strike first to lead right now at least 6-0. As the extra point left-footed kick is up, and it will be good. And a 7-0 lead for the Yankton Bucks as they strike first. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
What was a 10-play drive that ended up going for 62 yards and a 5-yard touchdown run for Carson Krall. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Yankton Bucks here with 7:51 to play in the first quarter on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. See if the Pierre offense can answer why you take the ball first, Mendel. Now the pressure it feels like the pressure's on the Governor offense. And you could say the same thing if Pierre had got the ball first and went down and scored. However long it took, the pressure is going to be on the Yankton offense to score. You have to try and be able to answer each drive with some points. And the Governors will have to do that as they have Carter Schuffelbein and Jaron Deal back deep to return this kick. And their first possession of the ball game was 7:51 to play. Kickoff will go out towards the out of bounds. It will go out of bounds. So it will be a good start here for the Pierre Governors. It's not the landing zone was not hit because it went out of bounds, not because it didn't go far enough. And it will be a good field position here for the Governors.
Yeah, speaking of landing zones, that's really changed NFL football, hasn't it? You saw that on Thursday night, how
ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
How that's affected the game.
A lot of people say that the Seattle Seahawks won that game because of that kick. Well, I think there's a lot of fans in Pierre that say Seattle earned the win because their offensive line was good, especially one guy was good. There is a lot of people that are unhappy. They're unhappy with that rule. Carter Merrill will be in the backfield. Caleb Lounsbury, the starter. Governors are trying to get that first offensive play call. They're down to 15 seconds to go on the play clock. Actually, they weren't even looking for the play call. They're just looking for their 11th guy on the field. Max Schmitz was on late. Play clock is down to 6. But Caleb Lounsbury, and then we get a jump from Yankton. And unless Pierre moved, that's a huge break for the Governors.
Encroachment on the defense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
That'll be on Edley Amaro that gets called for the encroachment. First penalty of the ball game for either team. And it's now 1st and 5 before the Governors even have to snap the football.
Yeah, and there again, we're talking about the defense being amped up and cost them there.
Lounsbury drops back to pass. Nose on the middle for Terwilliger, and it goes just off of his hands. He might have been gone for a touchdown. A perfectly placed ball for Lounsbury. A little bit of some hand fighting as the ball was released, and it turns into an incomplete pass, and it's 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball to Williger going straight down the seam out of his tight end position, and had it right on his fingertips, just a couple inches from really being able to gather that in, and would have been a huge play.
So now 2nd down and 5 from the 40-yard line in Pierre Governor territory. Pistol formation. Thought maybe they'd run with Merrill on that first play. They tried to go a little bit creative on that first play to Terwilliger. Now Merrill will get the handoff. He's at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to be met by 6 different Yankton Bucks players. And then was it Merrill's helmet that fell off? If it was, he has to come out of the ball game. It was Merrill, so he'll be out of the ball game for one play, and no gain on that first run for Carter Merrill.
Yeah, that looked like it had some potential there off the pitch, just a pitch to the left side. Yankton did a really good job of flowing with their defensive line and keeping the linemen off their linebackers, and then, of course, the linebackers can come up and make a tackle.
So Kay Ducheneau will check into the game for Merrill for at least this play, but it's 3rd down and 5, and the Governors don't want to have any mistakes, as they'll be rolling to the right side, only 3 and out. So it'll be thrown for Shufflebein, and make that Jaron Deal who makes the catch. He was hit hard by Boomsma, but he hangs on for a 10-yard gain on 3rd down and 5, and it's a 1st down for the Governors.
Yeah, big catch there by Jaron. He was hit hard, as you said, and really didn't have time to secure the ball fully, but was able to hold on to it and make a big 1st down. And a huge play for Pierre, as Coach Steele said in the pregame. 3 and outs are exactly what they wanted to avoid, and that would have been probably the case if he wasn't able to hold on to that one.
1st and 10 now from the 50, as we apologize for some buffering potentially on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Hopefully we can get that back to normal. 3 receivers out left side. Pistol formation, Merrill back on the field. Almost a broken play. It turns into a broken play. Lounsbury's looking to his left, had to toss it to his right. And Carter Merrill, who went to the right side, ends up being a loss of 3. And it's now going to be 2nd down and 13 for the Governors back in their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, turning the wrong direction, and of course that takes the timing away and everything like that. And he still tried to execute the play as the rest of the team had it in their mind, I guess. But a late pitch outside is not going to be very successful.
2 receivers on each side, a pistol formation here, 2nd down and 13 for the Governors. Lounsbury will drop back to pass. He'll look down the field. Now he throws for Shufflebein, but it's going to be intercepted by Cale Hazelhorst. Might have been a block in the back. It will be. So we'll all come all the way back. But Hazelhorst, now a second penalty comes in. This is all after the interception, so we'll see what it will end up being. But it is an interception, and it will be 1st and 10 for Yankton.
I think the second one was a block in the back as well. I saw the finish of it. It looked like it was a block in the back. So definitely going back 15. Unfortunately, probably can't go back 30, but that would be nice.
It would be nice to be able to do something like. We'll hear from our referee and Darren Martin.
After the interception, illegal block in the back. On the return team, number 1. That penalty is declined. Block in the back. Return team, number 25. That penalty is accepted. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
And obviously they're going to accept the penalty that was the farthest back. They're going to decline the one that was farther up. So that'll push Yankton back a little bit farther to start their next drive. But it is an interception to finish out the drive for the Pierre Governors.
Yeah, just a double stack formation there. The Yankton was kind of playing a cover 1 with a deep free safety, and Lounsbury trying to hit the post, threw it right into that where that safety was sitting. So a really good call and a really good coverage there for Yankton. for the play call that Pierre had.
Yankton will take their first time out here with 5:33 to go in this first quarter. We'll take one with them. It's a 7-0 lead for Yankton on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Wheelhouse Auto Body, we believe in treating our customers and their cars like family. Our service-focused team has over 50 years combined experience in the automotive repair industry. If you have a vehicle, big or small, that needs some TLC, Wheelhouse Auto Body team is ready to take care of you. Visit Wheelhouse Auto Body at 720 North Garfield or contact us at 605-494-0436. Wheelhouse Auto Body of Pierre.
Pierre Governors down 7-0 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard as we still can try to get through all this technical difficulties of having some more buffering issues potentially. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line in Yankton territory. Back to pass will be Bestie, throws it wide open in the middle for a completed catch to Abe O'Brien. It'll be a gain of about 8, and it's 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, a real similar concept to one of the plays they ran in the first drive, just a mesh route with both of their inside receivers kind of crossing the middle, trying to rub off linebackers on each other and create traffic.
2nd down and 8 from the 33-yard line. And that'll be a false start penalty against Hazelhorse. Make that Abe O'Brien, who just made that catch. 2nd penalty against the Yankton Bucks, and it's now 2nd down and 7 instead of 2nd and 2.
And Yankton did a really good job that first drive of making significant gains on 1st down. They were always 2nd and short. I think you mentioned they maybe had 1 3rd down, maybe 2 at the most, and that wasn't until they got down in the red zone. So backing up 2nd and 7 certainly is beneficial to the Pierce defense.
2 receivers here on the near side as Bestie will roll out. Now will throw. Has a man wide open. The catch is going to be made by Eisnes. He'll get out of bounds at the 33-yard line and make that the 38-yard line. And it'll be a gain of what will be around 10, and it's a 1st down for the Governor, or for the Bucks.
Yeah, simple rollout, rolling to his left, hits a out pattern. Pierre in the cover 3, there was nobody really up to take that out away. Linebackers got to get wider.
Throw to the right side on play action as it'll be Isaac. I'll make the catch, and he'll be driven out of bounds as it will be another completed catch as Bestie is now 5 for 5. And it'll be a gain of about, end up being a gain of 6 and 2nd down and 4. So 2nd down and 4 from the Yankton Buck 44-yard line. And he gets out to the 48 for another 1st down. Sedlacek will get the handoff. He's wrapped up and twisted down as Hudson Schaefer was able to get in the backfield. And now it's going to be 3rd down and short. Gain of 3, and it's 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, really nice play by Schaefer there, coming off the edge and grabbing him.
4:15 left to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for the Yankton Bucks on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. 2 receivers here on the near side. Play clock down to 17. From the shotgun, Bestie will hand it off for Sedlacek again. He'll have a 1st down as he stays on his feet before he's turned around and tackled by Aiden Beam. And it'll be a gain of about 3. We'll make that a gain of 4, and it's 1st and 10 for the Yankton Bucks as they're now into Governor territory. So another 1st down for Yankton. Governors have been able to stop Yankton on a 3rd down deep in their own territory as Sedlacek will go in motion out here to the flat on the near side. Bessie looking down the field. Now he'll throw it, looking for his man. That's going to fall incomplete as he was looking for O'Brien. And for the first time tonight, incomplete pass for Tate Bestie with 3:40 to go here in the first quarter as he's 5 of 6 for a total of 51 yards so far. 93 yards of offense already for the Yankton Bucks over the Pierre Governors. And they're driving again in their 2nd drive of the ball game.
Yeah, taking a deep shot on 1st down after they kind of established the run. But when you empty the backfield, you kind of lose that play action effect. So Pierre was ready for it.
Isis will go in motion. He'll now circle around the quarterback, and Sedlacek will get another handoff as he tries to fight his way forward. Takes 4 Governors, those linebackers, to bring him down. And Sedlacek will get another good second down run as he'll get out to, will end up being the 43, make that the 42. And it's going to be third down and 3.
Yeah,
So
big play here. Big play here for the defense. Get a stop, and they're still out, probably outside the field goal range. If they can get a negative play, force a punt.
I think Bestie
there's
will.
a negative play.
I was going to say, Bestie, I think, will end up being the one with the.
Before the snap, ball start, the offense, number 24. 5-yard penalty, replay third down.
We'll end up calling it on Sedlacek, but it looked like Bestie was the one that was falling backwards, waiting for the snap to come. But it does make it now third down and 8 instead of third down and 3 with 3:09 to go. It's a big third down for the Governors to try and get off the field, at least if it's a passing down, forcing Yankton to make a decision on third and long instead of being fourth and short. From the shotgun, Bessie will look to pass as he rolls here to the near side. Now he's going to take off with it. He'll get to the 40. He's got a first down as he gets out of bounds at the 34-yard line. As it ends up being a gain of 12 and a first down for Yankton.
Yeah, you see that so many times. Defense and man-to-man coverage, everybody's locked up and had really good coverage, except that the quarterback's able to get outside containment. Nobody's really looking back at the quarterback, and he makes a nice run.
First and 10 from the Governor 34-yard line. Sedlacek will go in motion. Now Bessie with the option. He'll keep it as he'll be wrapped up, spun around, eventually thrown down by sudden sun and shine. And a gain of a couple, making a gain of about 5. We'll call it a gain of 6 for Bestie. And it's second down and 4. And this Yankton offense continues to move down the field with 2:18 to go. They're now getting shy of the red zone. Second down and 4 from the 28-yard line. Be a handoff here for, and actually Bessie will keep it on an option play. He'll get another couple yards out to the 26-yard line, a gain of 2, and it's third down and 2.
Yeah, Binger on the play there. A little read option look, and I'm really impressed with what Yankton's doing on offense. They're throwing a lot of stuff at Pierre. Read options, straight options, rollouts, throwing from the pocket. There you have a pretty exotic offensive package going right now.
3 receivers out far side. Play clock down to 14. Game clock at 1.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Quick throw for Bestie. That's going to be caught by O'Brien. He's got a first down. It'll be wrapped up by Porter Hunsley. But another first down for the Yankton Bucks as they'll get inside the 20 to the now 17-yard line. And another good gain there on third down for Yankton, a gain of about 7.
Yeah, they have O'Brien listed at 6'1". He looks like he's about 6'4" out there. That was a pretty easy pitch and catch.
So now it'll be a toss to the right side. Boomsville makes the catch as Lathan Rouse trying to run him down. Make that Devin Binger, trying to run him down. And it gets to the 10-yard line. And it ends up being second down and 2 and a gain of 8.
Yeah, quick little wide receiver screen there. Some really good blocking on the outside by Eidsness, and seals the containment out and lets him pick his way up for a good gain.
We'll call it second down and 3. Sedlacek will get the handoff as he'll get near the first down marker another time with 44 seconds to go. Is he there for a first down? They'll give him the 3 yards, and it will be a first down. No, they're going to spot him for a gain of 2, and it's going to be fourth down. Nope, they will get a gain of 3, and it will be a first down, first and goal now. Already 9 rushes for Jay Sedlacek. And it's first and goal with 25 seconds. They do have to run one more play to the Yankton Bucks here in the first quarter before we get to the end of this first one here. They're trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Sedlacek will get the handoff again. He's got nowhere to go this time. And it will be a loss of maybe 1, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter.
Is brought down by number 55, Max Schmidt.
So it will be no gain, and that will end the first quarter. Second and goal, actually a loss of 1 at the end of the first quarter. Second and goal from the 8 when we come back to the second quarter. 7-0 lead for Yankton over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
So we welcome you back. It is the start of the second quarter with the Pierre Governors that are down 7-0 in the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard. And it's second and goal from the 7-yard line after a loss of 1. And the Governor defense has got to be able to stand tall here, Mendel.
Yeah, good play by Spitz there. He just beat their center and made a really nice play. But they got to have more of that because right now Yankton's able to run it right at them.
Bestie will look to pass. He'll throw towards the end zone. That will end up being a flag and a penalty coming in against the Governors. Abe O'Brien got the shove, but it ended up being, I didn't see who it was for the Pierre Governors that was over there. Might have been Logan Whitty. I think it was Whitty that will get called for it.
Pass interference on the defense, number 3. Penalties half the distance, replay second down.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate because you called it right. The offensive player did push off a little bit, but then when Whitty went to try to recover, he just basically grabbed hold of the uniform. Of course, the receivers stopped in his tracks. The uniform stretches out. It's a pretty easy call for the ref.
So now it's still second and goal, but they now move it to the 3-yard line. So it is a penalty of 4 yards. First one against the Governors. And a handoff now for Sedlacek as he'll try and bounce it right side. He'll get to the end zone, dives in, and he scores for a touchdown. Sedlacek will get a 3-yard touchdown run, and Yankton now leads it 13-0.
Yeah, nice run there by Sedlacek. They tried to run that off tackle play, and Pierre really blew that up, and he was able to adjust and get wide and outflank the pursuit enough to get to the end zone, running over a defensive back there at the goal line to get it in. But just a really good run, good vision.
As it will be Kevin Ortiz that will be the man for the extra point to try and make it a 14-0 game. That kick will sail just inside the left upright, and it's a 14-0 lead for Yankton here early in the second quarter. 11:49 to go. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
And we welcome you back as the Pierre Governors are down 14-0. It was a 75-yard drive, by the way, for the Yankton Bucks as they get the 3-yard touchdown run by Jason Sedlacek, and it's a 14-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard for Yankton. We talked, and Coach Steele mentioned in the pregame show that you may only need, you may get 7 drives in the first quarter. Well, this is only going to be the second drive of the Pierre Governors, and we're already 11 seconds into the second quarter. So Pierre, while they will get the ball to start the second half, you start to feel like this is a must-score drive. You felt like that after the first one, but even more so right now that you're going to be able to score once you get the ball in this second drive, as Carter Shufflebind and Jaron Deal are back deep to return this one. First one was kicked out of bounds. This one will go to the end zone and will be caught in the end zone for a touchback, and the Governors will start at their own 20-yard line. So they had just a 5-play drive that got just 7 yards of total offense with the help of some penalties. But this Pierre Governor offense got to get things going here this time, Mendel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they just missed the big play to Terwilliger on the first play, and then had the broken play the next time they had a first down and ended up losing yards on the pitch, puts them behind the sticks, and just didn't execute to the point where I think they wanted to be. A lot of game left. There's a lot of time left, but it's time to start moving the ball.
Two receivers here on the near side. Carter Merrill in the backfield. He's run the ball twice, but only has -3 yards. This will be a toss play left side. He'll try and cut it back up the middle of the field, and he will get some positive yards, and he actually won't. Well, he will. He'll get 4 yards. I was thinking about 25-yard line being that initial line of scrimmage. He'll get 4 yards on that run on the first play of the second quarter for the Pierre Governors.
Yeah, just a simple pitch play there. Same play they tried to run, except they had the mix-up in which direction to go last time. Got the 4 yards. That'll work. 2nd and 6 is where you want to be.
Pistol formation. Yankton nearly jumps the snap. Play clock down to 12. 11:10 to go here in the second quarter. Lounsbury will move Terwilliger to the left side of the line. They'll get the snap with 4 on the play clock. Toss it left side, trying to get a block for him. And coming free to make the tackle was Madden McQuaid. And it will be a gain of 2 for Merrill. But McQuaid, while the Governors were blocking well, McQuaid had nobody there in front of him that could block him. And it turns into a gain of just 2. But it's still 3rd and 4, still manageable here for the Pierre Governors. Although probably not 4th down territory, even if you make it 4th and 1 from your own 26-yard line right now.
Yeah, and again, another big play. 3rd down, don't want those 3 and outs. But yeah, McQuaid coming from the safety position really flowed downhill fast. Just not accounted for in that blocking scheme and was able to make the tackle.
2 receivers out far side of the field, pistol formation. Lounsbury drops back to pass. He'll throw over the middle. It's going to be short and incomplete as he's looking for Scheffelbein. And that will cause a punt for the Pierre Governors and a 3 and outs quickly here for Pierre. And this is what exactly that Coach Steele did not want to have happen, was 2 drives that didn't take up a lot of time. And they'll have to punt the ball away with 10:14 to go.
Yeah, exactly. And blitz from the backside there, the left side of the offense by the Yankton linebacker, Platt. And Lounsbury may have heard those footsteps because he was unblocked coming at him from behind.
He will punt the ball away, Will Lounsbury. He is the punter. He had a couple of really good punts over the course of the first 4 games of the season. High snap, able to bring it down, and a good end-over-end punt that will be caught, and diving on the ground was Eisnitz to field it at the 39-yard line. And that is where Yankton will take over at their own 39. So the Governors so far unable to get anything moving. But it will be Yankton a chance to take a 3-touchdown lead with 10:06 to go here in the second quarter. So far, Jace Sedlacek with 43 yards rushing on 11 attempts, 3.6 yards per carry, 139 yards of offense for Yankton to only 13 for the Governors, as we play with just 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10, play action, quick throw for Eisnitz. He'll dive to make the catch. He's already down, so the clock will continue to roll right now. They're going to try and say it's incomplete, but I think Eisnitz did make the catch, and it's going to be a loss of 2 for Owen Eisnitz on that catch from Bestie.
Yeah, definitely made the catch, and that was the wrong decision in that case, you know. But high school football, you're down when a knee hits the ground, but. Just that little swing pass out to the receivers should be an extension of the run game, but unable to get positive yardage, puts them behind the sticks, and Pierre needs to take advantage here.
So yeah, 2nd down and 12 now from the 36-yard line. A quick toss here. Sedlacek will make the catch out in the flat. He'll be pushed into bounds by Lincoln Schoenhard. And that's the first catch of the day for Jace Sedlacek. And it will be a gain of what will end up being about a gain of 5. We'll call it a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down and long here for the Yankton Bucks. 3rd down and 6 from their own 42-yard line. Boozema will go in motion here to the near side. He'll stop on that near side line. Bestie will roll out to the right. There's a flag that comes flying in. The catch will be made out in the open for a 1st down for a moment. But where that flag is thrown, most likely coming back, Hazel Horse made the catch. We'll hear from our referee.
Holding the offense, number 64. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, third down.
Drace Gaskins is called for the hold, a 10-yard penalty. So now it's 3rd down and 16, and this is a must for the Pierre Governors to get off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised here if they kind of try to drop back, keep everything in front of them. Don't want to get burned with the big play. You haven't gotten a lot of pressure on him yet, so probably just sit back and play coverage.
3rd down and 16 from the 32-yard line. Bestie will drop back to pass. He'll throw over the middle of the field. Catch is made by Hazel Horse. He's got a 1st down. Governors can't make that tackle until Porter Hunsley drags him down to the 50-yard line. A gain of 18 on 3rd down and 16. And Hazel Horse with a huge second catch. And that's a big 1st down and a backbreaker for the Governors' momentum. And it's 1st and 10, the 50.
Yeah, he's such a big target, and coming over the middle there, just got in front of the Governor safeties and able to gather it in just across the sticks.
8:40 to go here in the first half. A handoff for Sedlacek as he's met at the line. He's not got anywhere to go. The Governor defensive line, a really good job. Max Schmitz might have got the first hand on it, along with also Devin Binger. And Lincoln Schoenhart will get credit for the tackle, but it's no gain for Sedlacek.
Yeah, Binger's playing really well there in the middle of that defensive line, and a good job up here there, getting that stop on 1st down, and something they've struggled with on those early rushes by Sedlacek.
14-0, still leading here for Yankton with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line. Bestie drops back to pass all kinds of times. Now throws it downfield, and he'll miss his intended receiver, Boomsma. Porter Hunsley was looking the other way, and had he been already turned that way, he would have had the best opportunity of trying to make that an interception. But it is an incomplete pass, as Bestie's now just 10 of 12. Only 10 of 12 for a total of 87 yards so far in the first half.
Yeah, just hitting the big play, trying to hit the big play there. He had O'Brien open in the middle of the field on kind of what they've hit before on those deep crossers, but tried to hit the post and either ran a wrong route or threw it the wrong way.
3rd down and 10, a throw, no one there for Yankton. I think Eisness had run into his own teammate and Abel O'Brien, and it turns into an incomplete pass, no one in the vicinity, and it's 4th down and 10, and the Governors will get off the field. After giving up 3rd and 16, that next series turns into 4th and 10, and a big break for the Govs because they can get off the field now.
Yeah, after the first 2 possessions where Yankton basically was executing at a very high level, they misfire on 2 consecutive plays there, and Pierre gets the ball back, which is exactly what they need.
So here's the punt from Villanueva, and almost was blocked, but it will go out towards the 10-yard line, takes a Governor bounce, and eventually goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line. A good punt turns into a net of about 40 yards, and it will be 1st and 10, and a long way to go for the Pierre Governors on their 3rd drive of the ball game.
1st and 10 for the Governors.
Yeah, inside the 10, not the best place to start a drive, but Pierre, when their offense is operating well, field position really doesn't matter. They're going to go out and make plays, and that's what they have to do right now is try to find something, something easy and get some 1 or 2 first downs, at least flip the field, but get some confidence.
They're going to go 92 yards now down to try and get that first score with 7:44 to go. Now it's 92 yards in 7 minutes and 44 seconds. They could probably do that and get themselves to halftime and chance to tie the game up, as Lounsbury will step up in the pocket, but he is going to be sacked as he'll end up losing several yards back to around the 5-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and long, and the Governors are in the shadow of their own end zone, taking each snap. End up being a loss of 4.
Brings up 2nd and 14.
Yeah, the Yankton nose guard there makes the sack. Didn't have anybody open right away, and Lounsbury feels the pressure from the outside, tries to step up, and the pocket collapses. He's not able to get through and find running room to scramble.
So now 2nd down and 14 from the 4-yard line as the game clock ticks to around 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Lounsbury steps back, a screen pass. Merrill will make the catch out in the flat on the far side. He's got room, and he'll get near the 1st down marker. And a really good 2nd down play for the Governors to make it 3rd and manageable, although I believe he might have had near the 1st down marker.
Brought out of bounds by number 5.
Spot him. Will that be at around the 16-yard line?
Yeah, 3 short, 2 short, long 2. Good call there. Yankton pinning their ears back on 2nd long, trying to get a safety, thinking about scoring on defense, and run the screen play. really well executed, got the lineman out, got the kick out block, and Merrill's able to kick it up for a big gain.
As it being a gain of 13 on that catch, as it's now 3rd down and 1 here for the Governors, as they will try and pick it up to that 1 yard. I don't know if they got there, as Merrill got the handoff, and it's going to be 4th down. The Governors have to punt the ball away. A loss of 1. Edley Amaro Jr. was able to make the tackle. They'll lose 1 yard with Merrill, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Governors will have to punt the ball away on another 3 and out.
Yeah, Amaro's, he's been playing since he's a sophomore, and he's 6'4", 230. He's a handful as a defensive end, and just comes crashing down and is able to shut the run down, even though the run is up the middle.
As it will be from Lounsbury on the punt, a line drive punt. Eisness will let it bounce. It will give good field position for Yankton with 6:09 to go here in the second quarter. And again, the Governors just 21 yards of total offense right now, and Yankton has less than 50 yards to go down and try and take a 3-score lead before halftime.
Yeah, really big series here to keep them out of the end zone, keep points off the board, and hopefully get the ball back quickly and try to do something for themselves, but certainly don't want to be down 3 scores going into halftime.
It will start at the Governor 45-yard line with 6:09 to go here in the second quarter. Bestie will drop back to pass, and again, he's got all kinds of time. Throws over the middle. Catch is going to be made in the middle of the field, and Eisness will get a first down as he gets all the way down to the 25-yard line, a gain of 20, and it's 1st and 10 for Yankton.
Yeah, Yankton's really liking what they're finding over to the middle, deep middle. Got their outside receivers or sometimes their inside receivers running corners, and then bringing a couple people across the middle of the field at different levels to pick up yardage.
2 receivers here on the near side for the Yankton Bucks. Handoff for Sedlicek. He'll bounce it right side as that first initial hole wasn't there. He'll get about 6 yards inside the red zone to the 19-yard line for Sedlicek, as Will Eilers will get the tackle.
Yeah, good run by Sedlicek again. There again, he's a good runner. He's got great vision. He doesn't run into a pile or run into the offensive lineman. He picks his way, finds an opening. He's very patient.
2nd down and 5 from the 19-yard line. So they call it officially a gain of 5. As Bessie will drop back to pass, he'll roll to his left as Hudson Schaefer is getting to him. The throw to Abe O'Brien, and nearly could have been a penalty at the end of that play, but O'Brien will get to around the 10-yard line. We'll spot him at the 11. And it's 1st and 10 again for Yankton, a gain of 4 for a first down.
Yeah, once again, just able to roll left and break containment. Had kind of the option to run or pass and decided to dump it off and makes a nice little touch pass out there and lets the receiver do the work.
5 minutes to go here in the first half. They still can pick up another first down, can Yankton. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Man will go in motion. That is Eisness. Sedlicek will get the handoff, and he's got nowhere to go. That defensive line, along with Hudson Schaefer coming off the edge, maybe got a yard. It will be a yard for 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, good job of Pierre defensive line there, slanting down and sealing that off. Made him try to cut to his right, but that was sealed as well. So a good wall by the defensive line there.
Shotgun formation again, 2nd down and 9 for the 10, with 4:25 remaining here in the second quarter. Bestie drops back to pass, looking to his right, throws to the corner of the end zone. A man is open, it is bobbled, and it is incomplete. Eisness was the intended target. He was open, but it does fall incomplete. Maybe just a little bit too far feeding out for Eisness. I started to lose the vantage point of it from where we're sitting at, and for the Governors, that's a big incomplete pass. It was going to be 20-0.
Yeah, he got both hands on it, but again, just like you said, a little bit too far on front, much like Terwilliger's pass early, just on the fingertips, wasn't able to gather it in, but kind of the first time Yankton's really tried to go wide on a pocket pass.
4:20 to go here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 9 for the 10-yard line. Bestie drops back to pass, looks towards the end zone, the throw to the flat, the catch is made, and there's a touchdown for Yankton as Eisness will make that catch, and it's a 20-0 lead for the Yankton Bucks here in the second quarter with 4:14 remaining.
Yeah, simple two receiver concept. The outside receiver runs the post. The inside receiver gives a little shoulder fake in and cuts out, and and Bestie puts it right on his numbers, a walk-in touchdown.
So it is another touchdown for the Yankton Bucks. Extra point upcoming. And now we get a whistle. And will it be against the Yankton Bucks? That will push them back a little bit. And we're going to hear from our referee.
Snap infraction from the offense, number 66. Pick the ball up, put it down, replay the track for 5 yards back.
So Austin Conway gets called for the snap infraction, which you don't hear that very often, but obviously you can't put the ball down and pick it up and put it back down once you get set. It'll be a 5-yard penalty that makes it now, instead of a normal extra point, turns into a 25-yard kick, and it still won't make a difference as it's right through the uprights. And it's 21-0 for Yankton over the Pierre Governors here with 4:14 to go in the second quarter. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hello friends, this is Pastor Sam at Faith Lutheran Church. We have many blessings to give thanks. A beautiful city on the river, helpful and encouraging friends and neighbors, and of course, our peer athletes. They're the reason for us being here, so let's help them out. I will be praying for our athletes throughout this season. I encourage you to join me in praying for their health and safety as well as their success, both on the field and in the classroom.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
We welcome you back. It is a 21-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard for the Yankton Bucks. John Winkler alongside Mendel Miller. 4:14 to go in the first half, and Pierre is still, this is a 3-score game, but Mendel with 4:14. If the Governors can score at the end of the half, they get the ball to start the second half, they can make this a 1-score game before Yankton ever touches the ball again.
Absolutely. That's got to be the goal right now. You know, first of all, we got to get some first downs. You know, I mean, we got to get some confidence. We got to get figured out what works and what we can hang our hat on, because right now Yankton's doing a really good job of taking things away.
Caught it around the 2-yard line here for the Governors, up the middle of the field, and not much doing for Pierre as they'll get it at around the 20-yard line anyway. As Shufflebine will take it about 16 yards, make that Jared Deal on the return for about 16 yards to the 18. That's where the Governors will set up. Maybe they will spot it at the 19-yard line officially.
And one thing, you know, we talked about is Pierre's not had very good field position yet. Yankton's been able to play on the short field a little bit, and after that initial drive where they went down and established a touchdown and put Pierre behind on the scoreboard right away, Pierre's been struggling with the long field.
2 receivers out on the far side. Pistol formation here for the Governors. Lounsbury will get one hand on the snap. He'll step in the pocket, then he is hit as he throws. It will be incomplete. That arm got hit as he was letting go of the ball, and it is just an incomplete pass and not a fumble. And obviously no reviews here in week 5 of the regular season, so it's 2nd down and 10 here for the Govs.
Yeah, and no need to review that. His arm was obviously coming forward, and just a lot of the pocket is not super sound right now, and I think he's a little bit nervous back there. Feels the pressure coming at him from different angles, and just didn't have a place to unload the ball.
A 4-down set for Yankton, but they continually to send 5 to 6 guys coming across the line. Now they drop back in coverage. That throw catch will be made by Lincoln Diligence. He got hit and then fell. He was falling backwards, but going forward down the field as he'll get out to around the 32-yard line, a gain of 13 as Lincoln Diligence gets his first catch.
Yeah, and a very good pass there. Quicker release. Diligence coming out of the slot. Runs a kind of a short post there. He's 6'4", good big target. And Lounsbury puts it right on him, and you get a first down. Now you got to just start stacking a little better plays.
3:30 left to go here in the first half. Still all 3 timeouts for the Governors. The throw down the field, and that will be caught near the sticks, but out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Ends up being a gain of 8 as Shufflebine makes his first grab of the night.
And again, a clean pocket. Lounsbury feels comfortable, rips it out there, and hits him on the numbers right on the line. So looks like they're going to give him 7, but a good pass there, 2 in a row, starting to build some offensive momentum.
So 2nd down and 3 from just shy of the 40-yard line in their own territory. With 3:26 to go, clock is stopped right now here for the Governors. Toss right side for Merrill, trying to pick up that first down. He's able to break through. He's out to the 45-yard line in Yankton territory. The Governors have themselves a drive going right now. What turns into will end up being a gain of about 16 yards, and it's 1st and 10 at the Yankton 45-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. By far the best running play Pierce had tonight. Got a good block on the outside. Merrill was able to break through the first line that Yankton had, and Yankton's been flowing to the ball with their linebackers and safeties really hard. So if you can pop through there, there's a lot of running room, and Merrill was able to get through that initial wave and had a lot of good running room.
The 1st and 10 from Yankton's 45-yard line. 2 receivers here on the near side. Pistol formation. Lounsbury looks to pass. Throws down the field. Has Scheffelbein. And it goes off of his hands. Incomplete. It was a touchdown for the Governors. And Scheffelbein just couldn't quite come away with the catch. Another good thrown ball by Lounsbury. And it hits the hands and it falls incomplete for the Govs.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about can't throw a better ball. Once again, probably a matter of an inch or so. He's extended fully, able to get 2 hands on it. I think he would probably tell you he's supposed to make that catch, but it's still a difficult catch, looking back, running full speed. But an absolute really good throw from Lounsbury.
Really almost with shades of the state semifinal throw and catch from Lounsbury to Scheffelbein last year that got the Governors one of their 2 touchdowns. As Merrill get the toss right side, he's got another big gain, first down for Merrill as he'll get inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Another good gain there for Carter Merrill, another gain of 16. Second straight run for Carter Merrill of 16 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Pierce. They're threatening to get in the red zone with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, that's a little quick pitch play, and Yankton again flowing hard. Merrill's able to cut it. Once he got outside the tackle box, cut it straight up the field, got I think it's east-west here. It's supposed to be north-south on football fields, but I think in Yankton it's east-west. Got there fast and got 16.
From the 29-yard line now, 3 receivers here near side. Toss left side as Merrill will cut it back to the right hash. He's got another first down as he was undercut, but he gets another gain of about 11. And it's 1st and 10 for the Govs as they get to the 19-yard line and make the 18-yard line. They're in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Yeah, same play the other direction. Merrill does the same thing. Starts stretching it to the outside. Yankton's flowing so hard he's able to cut back underneath and pick up another first down.
48 yards of rushing for Carter Merrill in this quarter, 45 yards overall after he had just -3 yards in the first quarter. 2:10 remaining here in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Governors can still take their time. 10 seconds on the play clock as they're trying to take the time off the clock as Merrill will get the handoff. He's got nowhere going that time. He'll lose 1. And after having runs of 16, 16, and 11, now a loss of 1 and 2nd down and 11 for the 19-yard line.
Yeah, just more of a direct route right straight up the middle that time, and it was blocked pretty well except for one man, and that man was able to make the tackle and cause a negative play. So I think you said it right. Pierre can still take their time here. They certainly don't want to give the ball back to Yankton with very much time on the clock. So pick up a first down and keep the clock moving.
Lounsbury will throw for Merrill, but throws below him and short of him, and it falls incomplete, and it's now 3rd down here for the Governors as Lounsbury now 4 of 10 for 43 yards overall. 3rd down and 19 with 1:26 to go here in the second quarter. Pierre's got all 3 timeouts, but as you mentioned, and we've talked about it, at this point, Coach Steele's saying we want 7 points for Pierre or no points at all the rest of the way. We don't want 7 points and Yankton 7 points. We want us to score or nobody to score here in the last 90 seconds of this second quarter. This 3rd down from the 19-yard line, 3rd and 11 here for the Governors. 3 receivers here on the near side, pistol formation. Lounsbury will look to throw, looking for Scheffelbein, and he cut in as Lounsbury threw it out, and it falls incomplete, and it's 4th down. And now the Governors at the 19-yard line got to figure out what they want to do from 4th and 11.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there. Lounsbury leads him to the corner, and Scheffelbein's cutting on the post, and I think Pierre's going to call a timeout here and get the right 4th and 11 play.
Yeah, this is not the ball game because we still got 1:22 left to go in the first half, but if you don't pick it up, you say somewhere around a minute and 18 seconds, Yankton in their offense, even with 2 timeouts, which they still have their 2 timeouts, even with that, Mendel, they can go down and score a touchdown quickly, and they can make this a 28-0 game if Pierre's not careful on this 4th and 11 for the 19.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of being a fast tempo team is you can score quickly. But, I've kind of been, I think after they got up that second touchdown, I think they've been trying to maybe bleed the clock a little bit and shorten the game a little bit. So it might be a little bit faster than they want to go. We're going to pick up the first down, so it's not going to matter.
Right.
But if they did try to go fast, it may lead to a mistake because I don't think they've been super fast so far.
And that would be big for the Governors. Both teams against Huron. Now, Yankton had a bad end of that half against Huron. Pierre had the bad end of the game against Huron, throwing pick sixes. So probably not in the mind of any of the offenses right now, but something that's 5 defensive touchdowns for the Yankton Bucks. Pierre's got to be careful on 4th and 11 for the 19-yard line, but they got to try and pick up a first down. Lounsbury will drop back to pass. He'll step up, roll to his left. He's got room to run. He's going to get to the 8-yard line. Tries to cut it back. He's going to be right there at the 8-yard line. That is going to be very close to a first down. Lounsbury's got at least 10.5, if not all 11, that needs for the first down for the Governors. Boy, are they going to? You almost have to measure it if you're not going to. They were going to say it's first down.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're going to make a turnover on downs, you got to measure that ball. But it's going to be a first down by the eyesight and a gain of 11 for Caleb Lounsbury on 4th and 11. And that's a big, big opportunity for the Governors now as they get to the final minute of this second quarter, and it's 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to put the ball right on the 8, so it was probably pretty easy to judge that it was a first down. And probably the first time tonight that Yankton has lost their gap integrity on the pass rush and allowed Lounsbury a lane to escape. And then it was kind of like we've seen earlier, Yankton and man-to-man defense, nobody looking at the quarterback, and he's able to get outside and get just enough.
Play clock is now down to 5 seconds here. Game clock at 37 seconds. Lounsbury will get this low snap, hands it off for Merrill. Is able to fight through that first initial tackler. Got a hand on that jersey, pulling him back. I believe that was number 64, Andres Gaskins. Be a loss of 1, and Coach Steele will use one of his last 2 timeouts with 24 seconds to go. So a loss of 1 for Merrill, 2nd and goal from the 9. And that is now the 4th play for Carter Merrill on a run that he's lost yards. 5 overall that he hasn't at least picked up a yard of some kind. Back-to-back plays where he's lost a yard. This Yankton defense, and that's not really any detriment to what Carter Merrill has been able to do. It's the Yankton Buck defensive line has been able to get through those gaps and make life difficult for Merrill.
Yeah, exactly. And on that play, you start with a snap that's somewhere between the ankle and the knee, and quarterback has to go down and get it, make sure he secures the ball, makes the handoff difficult. You are Amaro coming off the end that hits him about 3 yards deep in the backfield. He's able to shed that tackle, and by that time, the timing of the blocks up front are just deteriorated to the point where there's no place to run, and there's about 4 Yankton Bucks that encircled him and wrapped him up.
So Pierce still has pretty much 3 plays to work with here. Trying to score in the final 30 seconds now. 24 seconds to go. First, make that 2nd and goal from the 9. Down 21-0. As Lounsbury play action rolling to his right. Now throws, has a man open, getting to the end zone for a touchdown. And the Governors are on the board with just 18 seconds remaining. Jaron Deal makes the catch. A 9-yard touchdown for the Governors. And they now trail it 21-6, pending the extra points.
Yeah, nice wrinkle by the Gov coaching staff there. The play action hard to the left with Lounsbury rolling right, and then Deal running the speed out from the right side, makes a good catch and strong enough to get in the end zone.
So it turns into an 81-yard drive for the Pierre Governors. Carter Templeton on for the extra point to try and make this a 2-score game, make it a 14-point game. The extra point is up and good, so it's 21-7 with 18 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. That is a massive drive for the Pierre Governors, and all of a sudden, Pierre just holds on for the next 18 seconds. This is a completely different looking ball game. potentially after the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. We're halfway there to what we're calling for, right? A double up on either side of half and get it to a one-score game before Yankton gets their hands on the ball again. And, of course, Yankton's going to get a couple plays here, but barring a disaster, that shouldn't be really affect the score. But the biggest thing is Pierre moved the ball. They moved the ball with the run. They moved the ball with the pass. And it should have given them some confidence here to where when they go into halftime, make some adjustments, they can come out and feel confident about scoring again.
Yeah, and you mentioned, too, no disasters. You can't have a disaster here with 18 seconds. It's got to be, and we'll see how good of a return Yankton gets on probably what Coach Brady Muth wants to really do. Does he try and get another touchdown, or does he take a knee and go to the locker room up by 14 points so they avoid a disaster? Because you would love, as a Pierre fan, you'd love a disaster for the Pierre Governors, or for the Yankton Bucks if you're a Governor fan.
Right.
But
yeah, 18 seconds. If they get a return at all, it's going to be down around 12, 13 seconds. Even with 3 timeouts, you probably don't have time for 3 plays. You might have 2 plays. I don't think he'll be too aggressive.
We'll see. Governor's got to be sound on this kick return, and it'll be a squib kick right up the middle of the field, and it will be fielded and dropping down at the 22-yard line with 16 seconds to go, as it was fielded by Talon Kenny. And so now with 16 seconds, we'll see if they want to run anything or if they say we're content with going into the locker room up by 14.
So I believe, if I remember right, didn't Huron score a touchdown on an interception on the last play of the first half when Yankton was trying to run a play from about the 35 or 40-yard line? So
yeah,
they learned their lesson.
Yeah, they look like they're in that victory formation, which would be halftime formation, and it will be one snap and a kneel down, and they will head into the locker room with a 14-point lead as Pierre gets on the board, makes it 21-7, and we will head to halftime. It was a little bit of an extra push by one of the Pierre Governors that knocked out one of the linemen rather easily, but I think cooler heads will prevail on that one. And it will be 21-7. Yankton leads with American Family Insurance. Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with halftime stats. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR. Watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. You'll find a great selection of quality new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles, plus a great selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take good care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and body shop, along with a friendly financing team that'll do their best to get you into your next new or pre-owned vehicle with financing that fits your budget. Wagner Auto is your local, family-owned, full-service dealership in Pierre. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Pizza Ranch in Fort Pierre is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Sports. Bring your crew to the ranch. We have hot buffet options, including legendary pizza, the country's best chicken, savory sides, nutritious salads, and delicious desserts. Perched right on the river, our Fort Pierre Pizza Ranch is only minutes from the South Dakota State Capitol building and right down the road from where the Pierre Governors play. The Pizza Ranch in Fort Pierre. Go Govs! As we welcome you back, it is halftime, and it's 21-7 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard as the Yankton Bucks lead the Pierre Governors. As we look at some of the halftime stats, Governors being outgained right now, 201 to 102 yards, with the Yankton Bucks controlling 14 minutes of time of possession. And overall, Mendel, so far, this Yankton team probably feels like they've got more than a 14-point lead, or you feel like maybe the Governors are down by more than 14. But that last touchdown at the end of the first half, and they get the ball to start the second half, 100 yards difference could quickly be turned into a one-score game before Yankton gets the ball back.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they've run 13 more plays, but I think both teams are showing really good balance. I'm just looking at stats there. 20 rushes and 17 passes for Yankton, 12 of each for Pierre. So good balance. The yards are basically the same for the plays that they're running on average. So, but those with Pierre getting that extra first possession of the second half, that could even up really quick as far as total yardage.
So 5 of 12 for Caleb Lounsbury, 52 yards. He has a touchdown that was thrown to Jaron Deal, who's made 2 catches for 19 yards, as he's made the most catches. But Carter Merrill, Lincoln Dilgis, each with a catch of 13 yards, and Shufflebine has a catch of 7 yards. Carter Merrill has run the ball 10 times, 43 yards. As the Yankton Bucks on the other side, Tate Bessie is 13 of 17 for 121 yards. As it is a 2 touchdown runs. Jace Sedlacek of 14 carries for 49 yards. He does have a touchdown. Carson Kroll has 2 carries for 6 yards and a touchdown. And then also Owen Eisness has a catch. He's got 5 catches for 44 yards. And then 3 catches for Abel Bryan of 19 yards. A catch for Boomsma, 7 yards. Sedlacek a catch for 6 yards. Hazel Horse 2 catches for 37 yards, and Talon Kenny a catch for 8 yards. So a lot of different guys, a lot of diversity throwing the football for Tate Bestie on his 13 catches. He's thrown to 6 different guys for completions. It's hard to cover 6 different opportunities to make completions if you're the Pierre Governor defense.
Yeah, absolutely. He's moved the ball around, and I think that you heard Coach Moose say that in the pregame as well, that he was looking, or they were looking to spread the ball around and do a better job of that, and they've certainly met that goal as well. So I think overall, I think Yankton has to be fairly happy going into halftime. I think they're accomplishing the goals or their keys that they wanted to accomplish, and now it becomes a challenge. Can you do it for 2 more quarters?
So the Pierre Governors down 21-7 here at the end of the first half. And the Govs have an opportunity. Again, they get the ball to start the second half. This is a really prime spot as you're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, that you're down by 21, but all of a sudden you can get back down by 7 and just force one of those. It was 21-0. You can force just 1 3-and-out or 1 punt, and you can tie the ball game up in that time frame. So Pierre just needs 1 good defensive possession and 2 good offensive possessions start the second half, and it's a brand new ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the differences, and definitely a bright spot for Pierre, is the defense did get better as the first half went along. If you look at Sedlacek's last 6 carries, I think they got 11 yards in the last 6 carries. So definitely shutting him down. He's getting more 0s and 1s and 2s rather than 6s and 7s like he was getting in the first quarter. And then Bestie, of course, he hit about 9 of his first 10 passes or something like that. So he's had 3 of his incompletions here towards the end of the second quarter too. So the Pierre defense is making some adjustments and having a little more success, and that should make you optimistic going to the second half.
Right now, penalties have been in favor of the Pierre Governors with a total of, let's see, you have 5 penalties for 30 yards for Yankton, just 1 penalty of 4 yards for Pierre, which was a pass interference call. So it's been a good start here for the Pierre Governors in this overall in this first half. Well, not so much a great start, but a good end to that first half, and can get a good start of the second half and get themselves tied back here in the third quarter. We'll take another break, come back in 3 minutes, and tell you scores from around the state coming up here in just a little bit. Back in 3 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
As a family grows, so does its financial needs. There are doctors and dentists, optometrists, lessons, braces, groceries, and more groceries. Then, of course, there's cars, college, and weddings to pay for. First Fidelity Bank is here to make the financial side of growing a family a little easier. First Fidelity Bank. First-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
Oh, shut the water off! Shut the water off! Oh, don't give me that look. I know you said to call Allied Plumbing and Heating. I read the instructions and I watched a couple of videos. I thought that I had this. Let me watch a couple more videos and I'll take care of it. Just go to your sister's. I'll have it fixed. Hello, Allied Plumbing and Heating. I need your help.
You can rely on your allies at Allied Plumbing and Heating, 605-494-2001.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
As we welcome you back, as we continue here on the halftime show, as we look at scores from around the state, John Wickler alongside Mendel Miller. In 11 AAA, O'Gorman has upset Jefferson 32-29. We will head to Sioux Falls to take on O'Gorman next Friday. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff. Make sure you make note. 5 o'clock kickoff. We'll have it here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports with coverage at 4:30. 11 AA right now. Sturgis has a 13-7 lead over Aberdeen, in Aberdeen right now at the half. Huron is leading Spearfish 15-12 at the end of the first half. Brookings is beating their 11 AAA opponent, Roosevelt, 14-0. And Watertown looks like they're going to get their first win of the season. They're beating Douglas 41-0. And Mitchell and T are tied at 14 at the end of the first half. That's an interesting score. In 11B, Miller Highmore Herald, they are down 36-0 to Winter at the break. 9 AA, Stanley County. It's a 42-6 game, nearing 6 minutes to go in the first half, as Wall has a 42-6 lead over Stanley County. Platte is leading at the half over Lyman. Platte get us 28-22 over Lyman. That's a really good game right now between those two teams. And Phillip is all over Jones County, 45-0 in that. Nearing the end of the first half. Soy Buttes won earlier today, 30-22. They led 22-0. Faulkton area made a comeback, but the Soy Buttes Chargers remain undefeated and now 5-0 in the season as they win it 30-22 over the Faulkton area Trojans. That's just some scores from the state. Obviously, the Chargers will have homecoming next week, and they'll have coverage of that game on Country 95.3 and on YouTube at Country 95.3 Sports. Mendel, we still got some time here as it is homecoming for Yankton, so an extended halftime break, and we can maybe go through more scores. But right now, that 11 AAA win for O'Gorman over Jefferson, that doesn't mean that Pierre can't compete with O'Gorman. We know every time that Pierre is competing with 11 AAA school, it's going to be a tough matchup. But O'Gorman's got a lot of confidence now after that win against Jefferson, and maybe they can come catch them too confident next Friday. That's a really big win for O'Gorman the week before the Pierre Governors come to see them.
It is. I looked at their scores, up until this point, and I hadn't been impressed, actually. I want to be honest, but that one is an impressive score. So definitely not going to be an easy road next week, and certainly the anytime that you can get a win over a 3A team, that might be the difference in the standings in the 2A with as close as everybody is. So that's going to be important, and you can kind of see that with which one of the double A's? Brookings leading Roosevelt right now. So Brookings holds on and pulls that off. That's a game changer.
Yeah, they go to 3-2 instead of being 2-3 with the loss to 11 AAA. That it can be a big difference when it comes down to the standings. Because Pierre Governors right now, if they don't come back and win this game, and O'Gorman's going to be a tough task, and if you're 3-3 going into the last third of the season, you're not really, in a great spot, but you're not in a bad spot, obviously, because you're playing Yankton and O'Gorman at 3-1. You play those two teams. It can be tough to be even 1-1 against those two teams, but it can be a difference in being a number 2 seed for the Pierre Governors, maybe being a number 1 seed at the end of the year, or being down to possibly a 5 or a 6 seed and having to be on the road to try and both games for sure be on the road to be going back to the Dakota Dome.
Yeah, certainly that. As we talked about in the pregame, there's a lot of teams kind of jumbled up at 3-1, and it's going to come down to the small things that divide those teams up and have a big impact on playoff seeding.
Pierre Governors are down 21-7 here at the end of the first half on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffle by and scoreboard. Coming up next week, next week Friday when we've got Pierre Governor football again. Volleyball is still off until the following Saturday. Then we'll have coverage of volleyball next week Saturday when they host Brandon Valley after their 2-week break. But as we look here in this game, Mendel, again, a tale of what could be two different halves, very different two different halves. Yankton felt like they were 2 plays away from getting a stop and then maybe leading 28-0 at the end of the first half. Now at 21-7, the Pierre Governors feel like they just need one defensive stop, and all of a sudden it could be 21-21 before Yankton has their second possession of the second half. And this is where the Pierre Governors, Coach Steve Steele and that coaching staff, the adjustments that are made at halftime, we see this coaching staff better than anybody else in the state make those adjustments for the Pierre Governors to pick up wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as I mentioned earlier, I think you've already seen some of those adjustments happening on the fly in the second quarter with the Pierre defense doing a little bit better job and finding a way to get downfield and score and get some momentum on offense. And you give them the extra long halftime and let everybody sit down and actually draw it up and show it to them in a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere rather than on the bench, during the game and things like that. Hopefully those changes can really show in the second half.
It just feels odd to see a 21-0 game, but it didn't feel like the Governors were really getting anything going. You felt like they were teetering on a blowout, but then at 21-0, in a lot of games, you're down by 3 scores. That feels like it's already a blowout at that point, but it never felt that way. It never really felt like a 21-0 score. And you know, if you're the Pierre Governors, you didn't want to feel like you're just go down and score on a drive, and all of a sudden things can look a lot different for this Pierre Governor team in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you had the first play on offense for Pierre that Terwilliger could have had probably a 50 or 60-yard pass if it's not a touchdown, just go off his fingertips. And you had another pass that was off the fingertips in the end zone, but Pierre ended up scoring on that, which actually might have turned out to be a better thing because you score on the first long pass and you give Yankton 3 minutes to do something. And if you don't score but it takes more time and you still end up with the touchdown, then Yankton gets 18 seconds, and that's a whole different story. So I think Pierre has shown that they can do some things. I think it's going to be really key in the second half to get Merrill or Ducheneau going on the offense on the ground, because Yankton's flying to the ball, and if they continue to do that, once those running backs can crack that first wave, there's some big yards to be had, and hopefully it'll set up some play action passes to where that they can take advantage and get some big games in the passing game as well.
Well, Pierre Governors, Yankton Bucks, 21-7 of the American Family Insurance. Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard in favor of Yankton. We'll come back in another 2 minutes. Start to get you set for the second half. Pierre Governors and Yankton Bucks here from Yankton. Back in 2 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. River Bottom Sanitation, your locally owned waste management company serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre communities. Contact River Bottom Sanitation for your residential and commercial pickups. Now River Bottom Sanitation is your source for all your roll-off needs. River Bottom Sanitation in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Give them a call for pricing at 605-222-1120. River Bottom Sanitation. That's 605-222-1120. Sanford Health Pierre Clinic provides comprehensive and convenient care to Pierre, South Dakota and its surrounding communities. We care for all your health needs, including preventive care, pediatric health, annual checkups, chronic disease care, and more. Schedule an appointment today at 605-945-5560. Ask about our heart and health specialist. Visit this clinic on the second Tuesday of every month. Sanford Health Clinic Pierre, 605-945-5560.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years.
As the days get shorter and the air turns crisp, it's time to make your home the cozy retreat you deserve. Summerland's Fall Home Sale is here. Find the perfect sectional for movie nights, a plush new mattress for a deeper sleep, and beautiful dining sets for family gatherings. 50% off list price is our lowest prices of the season, and they're happening now. Don't wait. Fall into savings at Slumberland. Visit Slumberland, 920 North Garfield Avenue today. We welcome you back as we continue here in halftime, closing in on the start of the second half as John McClure alongside Mendel Miller. So Mendel, now that we are about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half, biggest key here we're going to start with Yankton. Biggest key for the Yankton Bucks to pick up this win here against the Pierre Governors. What needs to happen in the second half?
If Yankton's going to win this game, they're going to have to continue to run Sedlacek up the middle. And, you know, they had really good success early of weakening Pierre up the middle and gashing them with some runs. And they have to be able to run the ball. I think if that gets shut down and they have to rely on passes on 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 8, then Pierre's going to be successful in slowing them down and stopping them.
So now the Pierre Governors, what do they need to do to make sure that they come back from a 21-0 deficit, right now down by 14? What do they need to do to make sure they win this football game?
The game can still be won, but I think one of the biggest things they need to do is get points right off the halftime in the first possession. And if they get points in the first possession of the second half, Yankton's going to have to start thinking about, boy, can we stop them? And we really had a chance to bury them and didn't get it done. So that's huge, just right there off the top. But as far as that goes, I think the thing they have to make sure they do two things. Number one, they have to get a big play in the passing game, whether it's off play action or whatever. And in order to do that, it feeds into number 2. They have to protect Lounsbury enough that he's comfortable and can make passes.
Pierre Governors down 21-7 at the end of the first half. Back in 2 minutes with the start of the third quarter. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR. Watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Today's game is made possible by our great local sponsors like Kathy Sunshine Properties. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking for your forever home, Kathy and her crew are here to help make your move simple and stress-free. With local expertise and commitment to their clients, they are ready to go to work for you. Call 605-224-5588 today or visit contactkathy.com. Kathy Sunshine Properties, turning your dreams into an address.
This fall, Beck Motor Company, your Heartland Chevy dealer, is proud to support our local athletes and all the fall sports that bring our community together. At BMC, we're here to take the stress out of car buying and maintenance. Whether you're in for routine service or looking to drive home in a brand new Chevy, you'll find a team that's honest, helpful, and ready to go the extra mile. Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com.
Becky Pottsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
You know that feeling when you're exactly where you're meant to be? That's what it feels like to bank at First National Bank Pierre. We're not some big faceless corporation. We're your neighbors. We're the people you see at the grocery store, at the local ball game. We're committed to helping this community grow one person at a time. Need a loan for your new home? Or maybe you're starting that business you've always dreamed of. Our team is here ready to listen and help you find the right financial solution. Because at First National Bank in Pierre, we believe in hometown banking. Visit us at one of our 2 locations in Pierre or our Fort Pierre location. First National Bank, your hometown bank. As we welcome you back, we are set for the second half. The Pierre Governors are down 21-7 to the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. They get the ball to start the second half. John Winkler alongside Mendel Miller as we welcome you back here at Creighton Youngworth Field. And the Pierre Governors will be looking to try and make this a one-score ball game on this first possession. As it will be Villanueva that will kick this one deep. Liam Villanueva. One kick has gone out of bounds. Carter Schuffelbein and Jaron Deal are back deep to return. Let's see if the Governors can overcome a 21-0 deficit. Now down by 14 to start this third quarter. Villanueva will kick this one away. It will be a good kick all the way back to the end zone. Caught at the 1-yard line by Deal as he'll get out to the 20 to the 25-yard line and out to the 29. A really good return of 28 yards for Jaron Deal. And the Governors are set up in good field position to start the second half.
Yeah, that's a really good kickoff for high school level. Pretty high, good hang time, and he puts it right at the 1-yard line where it's got to be returned. But Deal did a really nice job kind of coming up the middle, veering off to the left a little bit, almost a 30-yard line. You'll take that every time.
So Carter Merrill with 43 yards rushing. Caleb Lounsbury with 52 yards passing. And the Governors with 102 yards overall so far in this first half. Carter Merrill get the handoff, cuts it right side, gets a big hole. He's got a first down, carrying a man with him as he'll get out to around the 48-yard line. A big gain for Carter Merrill out to the 48, a gain of 19.
Yeah, good run there. Again, nice chunk play on the ground. Terwilliger coming across the formation for a kick-out block and just cutting it right up the field. And Merrill's doing a really good job of seeing that opening and hitting it hard.
1st and 10 from the Governor 48-yard line. Pierre's looking across midfield already. Just one play into this drive. The second play could cross into Buck territory. Play clock down to 10. Jaron Deal will come in motion to the left side, the far side of the field as they move from left to right on your radio dial. Play clock down to 3. Toss left side for Merrill. Cuts it back over the middle of the field. Big hole for Merrill. He's out of the 40 to the 35. Cuts it middle of the field. Down to the 30-yard line. Out to the 25 before he's knocked out. And inside the 25 to the 23. A huge gain for Carter Merrill. They'll spot him at the 24. And it turns into a gain of 28 for Carter Merrill.
Yeah, and again, similar to what they had success with in the first half, only he was able to break it even further back. They pitch it left. He cuts back as Yankton flows to their defensive right side really hard. He cuts it back, and there's just nobody left on the back side.
So that's a huge gain, and all of a sudden Carter Merrill's got 47 yards already in this third quarter in the second half. 90 yards rushing on 12 attempts for Merrill, and the Governors are in prime real estate to score again. Another toss right side for Merrill. This time he's only going to pick up about 4 yards to the 20-yard line, but the Governors are hitting the red zone to make it 2nd down and 6 from the 20.
Those are kind of the big plays, those explosive plays that we were talking about that Pierre really needed to have, and that Yankton coaching staff was talking about stopping, is if they could hold Pierre down from explosive plays. But 30 and 20-yard runs are explosive plays.
10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Governors are taking their time offensively. Play clock is down to 10 seconds. 2 receivers out far side, pistol formation. Merrill still in the backfield. Quick pass over far side. Shufflebein makes the catch, tries to get out in space. He'll have to dive forward to the 19-yard line. A gain of just 1. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Governors.
Yeah, quick screen out there, wide receiver screen. Deal trying to make a block. Terwilliger coming from the inside, trying to kick out. Shufflebein maybe should have kept that in a little bit. He tried to go out to the sideline, and that's kind of where the blocking was taking the defense.
Again, apologies for some buffering happening on KCCR Sports on YouTube. Trying to get that back up before we get the video feed going again. 3 receivers here near side. Lounsbury looked to pass towards the end zone for Shufflebein. Jump ball, did he get a foot down? He is out of bounds, they say. Shufflebein almost got that foot down, but it turns incomplete, and it's 4th down and 5 here for the Governors. We'll see if they're going to go for it from the 19-yard line.
Yeah, that was a really good pass right on the boundary. I think he did catch it. I think he did make the catch. Yeah, I didn't see the ref show that a bobble, and he definitely got up with the ball. So I think he caught it, just unable to get the feet down, but another very well placed ball.
This is somewhat of no man's land here for Pierre. You don't really want to kick a field goal to make it 21-10. You'd love to be a little bit closer than 4th and 5 from the 19-yard line. With 9:02 to go here in the third quarter, but they are going to go for it. It is 4-down territory. Lounsbury will pump fake. Now he'll throw, and it will be batted down and incomplete, and it'll be a turnover on down for the Governors.
You got a flag.
There is a flag down in the secondary, which could be on Yankton and give the Governors a 1st down. That could be a huge play. We're going to hear from our referee in a critical 4th down stop right now for Yankton, but will it stand? I would think
it's going to depend if it happened before the bat down.
Before the pass was thrown, holding on the defense, number 1. Half the distance results in a 1st down.
So it'll be about a 9-yard penalty. That is a crucial mistake by the Yankton Bucks, a holding call. When the pass was batted down, there was no really even need to hold at all. And it turns into 1st and goal now for the Governors as they spot it at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake.
So that is another penalty. 39 yards of penalties for Yankton. Toss left side for Merrill at the 10-yard line. Cuts it back, trying to get to the end zone. He's going to be stopped short of about the 2-yard line. And Pierre is going to be 2nd and goal and about 2 yards away from getting within 1 score. Gain of 8 for Merrill.
Yeah, he's running really hard. And again, either he's been told or he's just figured it out that he's really looking for that cutback as Yankton flows. The Pierre linemen are not able to get outside on that sweep to contain the defense or to control the defense, so they're just letting them flow outside and then just taking them that direction and using their momentum against them.
So now 2nd and goal from the 2, gain of 8. Carter Merrill above 100 yards rushing now, 102 yards on 14 carries. Terwilliger will go in motion out to the right side, on that right side of the line. Play clock down to 5. Toss for Merrill right side. He's going to punch his way into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Governors are now down by just 1 score. Carter Merrill from 2 yards out, and Pierce an extra point away from going down by 7, and just like what we were hoping to have happen for the Governors, Mendel has exactly what's going to happen. Yankton gets the ball just 1 time. They don't get the ball when the Governors score twice.
Exactly, yeah, and an impressive drive, right? An impressive drive, mostly on the ground, and
extra point from Templeton is up, and it is good. And it's a 21-14 game here in the third quarter, and the Governors down by just 7. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the parts you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
So as we welcome you back, it is a big touchdown for the Pierre Governors to make it a 7-point game with 8:02 remaining here in the third quarter as the Governors had a 7-play drive that went 71 yards and a 2-yard touchdown run from Carter Merrill after an interception, punt, and punt. Their first 3 possessions, Mendel, this Governor offense has got things figured out, and they're now 1 defensive stop away from having a chance to tie it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are clicking. The momentum and the confidence is there on the offensive side of the ball. And again, Yankton's got to kind of look up at the scoreboard and wonder what happened. It's 21-0. You think you really kind of got things under control, and then next time you look up, you're only a 1-score game, and the pressure's back on you.
So here is Carter Templeton on the kickoff. It'll go here to the near side. LaCroix will pick it up. He'll try and go to the far side. He's out in the middle of the field. He gets out to the 25, out to the 30. As he crosses out to the 45, got near midfield, and a big return for Tate LaCroix. Tegan LaCroix, excuse me. And it is Rowdy Menning on the tackle, but it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Governor 49-yard line. A huge return that time for LaCroix.
Yeah, the kickoff's fairly short to the right side of the field, and he's able to reverse all the way across and find blockers all the way across the width of the field and take it up the other sideline to midfield stripe.
Tate Bestie is 13 of 17 for 121 yards passing, as there'll be a toss jet sweep here near side. As the first man was Hudson Schaefer, but he didn't make the tackle. Sedlacek will get the initial couple yards back as Porter Hunsley makes the tackle. Schaefer had him, but Sedlacek was able to get out free, and it turns into a 3-yard completion, a 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, what Schaefer did really well is he set the edge and made it difficult for him to get wide, but he was taking on about 3 blockers there and trying to pick through them and find the ball carrier, and in doing that, he gave up the edge.
2 receivers here on each side, shotgun formation, 2nd down and 7 from the 46. Pass down here the near side, catch will be made by O'Brien. Man misses, and then he pushed it out of bounds. Porter Hunsley missed the tackle, ended up having to be pushed out by Logan Whitty, but O'Brien goes all the way down from the 46 to the 20-yard line, a gain of 26, and a 1st down for Yankton.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. They kind of a cover 2 look, and he just hit a really good pass to the receiver, kind of in that hole between the corner and the safety before the safety could get there. Really a sharp throw and just a really good play call for that defense.
Receiver on each side here, pistol formation this time for Bestie. Is an option play. He will keep it. Hudson Schaefer did a good job of forcing Bestie to keep it and then made the tackle himself, and a gain of a long 1 for Bestie on that run.
Yeah, really good, really well played there by Schaefer. Slow play in the option, not committing. Forced him to turn it up inside, and he played it long enough that he got help on the inside as well from Binger, who's played a really good game on the defensive line.
We'll call it a gain of 2. Really more long 1, short 2 for Bestie. The 2nd down and 8 as Bestie will roll to his right here. Still rolling. He's got plenty of room. He will call for his block. He's inside the 10 as he runs out of bounds. And Yankton's got 1st and goal. And this Yankton Buck offense, who might have been feeling the pressure, they've moved right down the field. as it turns into a gain of 11, and it's first and goal from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that looked like a called pass play, and Bestie tucked it or pulled it down and ran. He's lucky he didn't throw it because the outside receiver was blocking downfield, so had he thrown it, it had been offensive pass interference.
2 receivers here near side. Another option play here for Bessie. He'll try and cut it back up the other way. He's able to slip through 1 tackle, but Lincoln Schoenhardt is able to push him back. It'll be a loss of 1 for Bestie, and it's second and goal from the 8-yard line. Bestie had just 3 rushes in the first half. He's got 3 rushes here in the last 3 plays, as he's got a total of 32 yards on those 3 carries himself. Second and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, once again, that option look, well played by Pierre. Didn't commit, didn't give him an alley, and when he cut back, the pursuit was there.
Shotgun formation. Isis will go in motion as we go to the right side of the line. Play clock down to 13, 5:50 to go here in the third quarter. Governors are down by 7, 21-14. Rolling to the right is Bestie. He'll stop now. He's going to roll to his left. He's got a lot of room in front of him. He'll get up to the end zone, and he'll walk it in for a touchdown. And the Governors were going one way. Bestie was going that way, but as he made his move back to the left, cut it right back to the right, and an easy walk-in touchdown from 8 yards out for Tate Bestie.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, pretty good, decent pressure by the defensive line. They just rushed 4. Unfortunately, the second layer of defense was chasing receivers across the field, and Bestie was able to use that momentum, as you said, against them and cut back against the grain and find the end zone.
Took just 2 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock. Extra points is up, and that will be good to make it a 28-14 lead for Yankton over Pierre. A quick answer from the Yankton Bucks. They're back up by 14. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers 30-plus years of in-home support services to our local communities. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
So it was a 6-play drive that went 49 yards, and it turned into an 8-yard touchdown run for Tate Bestie, who ran it 4 times in a row and picks up the score to make it 28-14. It just took 2 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock. The Pierre Governors now will get the ball back as they trail by 14 again, and this becomes, Mendel, every drive. I wouldn't, if you're down by maybe 7, it maybe doesn't become a crucial drive, but down by 2 scores, this becomes a must-score drive again for the Pierre Governors.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to get in a shootout, you can't afford to empty possessions. And right now, that's kind of looking like where this thing is headed. So Pierre's got to take advantage and get some points up on the board here now. And I was just checking. Bestie ran the ball 13 times in the first 4 games, so three times a game average. And then he runs 4 times in a row for the points. So Pierre has to adjust to that.
This will be refielded at the end zone as Jaron Deal will take it out of the 15 to the 20. And another good return that gives about net of about 3 extra yards, 3 to 4 extra yards for Jaron Deal. That would have been first and 10 for the 20, but he's going to be at the 24-yard line where they will spot him. And the Governors will have their next possession here, down by 14.
Yeah, another perfect high school kickoff. Landed at the 1-yard line. Good height, gives your coverage team time to get down there. Looked like Pierre kind of had some blockers in front of him, but just didn't get enough of the red shirts knocked out of the way.
Yeah, because in high school football, if you catch the ball in the end zone, if the ball is in the end zone, it is an immediate touchback. There is no returning out of the end zone. That's the only way you can return it, is catching it in the field of play. 2 receivers here near side. Toss right side for Merrill. He'll make it. He'll get the catch. He'll get a couple of yards up to around the 28-yard line. A gain of 4 for Merrill. And he is going to be, and he has been the featured back the last couple years. And he's really going to be the featured back. And the Governors, again, they don't have to be. We have an issue with a cramp right now for one of the Pierre Governors. That is Carter Merrill that's trying to work out the cramp. Play clock is down to 24 seconds. Is he going to be able to get off the field or not? Ducheneau is in, so Merrill, there is no huddle, so there's no 13 guys in the huddle. He just has to get off the field before they get the next snap. The Governors only have 10 seconds to go now here before the play clock expires as they were trying to wait for Merrill to work out that cramp. Play clock down to 2. They will get the snap off as Lounsbury drops back to pass, and then it will be a pump fake. Lounsbury will still throw it, and Terwilliger will make the catch. He was wrapped up, was Terwilliger, and he's going to, it was Lounsbury who found Terwilliger, who makes the catch out to the 36-yard line. That is a huge play for Carter Merrill, and a big gain for a first down for the Governors.
Yeah, absolutely. Lounsbury wanted to go to him off the first pump fake, but unfortunately I think he felt the defender around his waist and didn't think he was really composed enough to make an accurate throw. He was held his composure, stepped through that tackle, and then went right back to Terwilliger, who did a really nice job of coming back to the ball.
Ducheneau stays in the ball game. Gave him about 10 there for Terwilliger, his first catch of the night. He's been relatively quiet for the Pierre Governors on the receiving side. That was only his 12th catch of the year. That pass caught by Carter Shufflebine. He's been quiet tonight, just a gain of 1 out to the 37, as he has made just 3 catches for a total of 9 yards. He's really averaging about 100 yards receiving per game, as he's got 421 yards, 18 yards per catch for Shufflebine, but 421 yards through 4 games. Yeah, he was averaging over 100 yards receiving, just only 9 yards on 3 catches right now for Shufflebine.
Yeah, and that one was really close to breaking. He tried to get a block, didn't quite get all of him, and he just got brought down by a shoe top.
Second down and 9. Lounsbury will throw down the field. Has Jaron Deal. One hit, just couldn't bring it in, was Jaron Deal. Nearly had that one-handed grab, and it turns into 3rd down and 9 for the Governors.
Had to step on his defender. Another really nice throw, right where it needs to be. It's just, it's a safe throw. It's over the defense, and Pierce just had some fingertip catches that just haven't been brought in.
So now 3rd down and 9 from the 38-yard line with 3:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. What do the Governors have in their playbook? Trying to get a first down, get near Yankton territory, near midfield. 3rd down and 9 for Pierre. Pistol formation. Lounsbury rolls to his right. Looking down the field, throws on the run. Catch will be made. A jumping catch by Shufflebine. Breaks free. He's out to the 40. Down to the 36-yard line on a first down for the Governors. Huge 3rd down conversion for Pierre.
Absolutely. One guy left to beat, and unfortunately, by beating the second to last guy, it ran him right into that defender, and he just didn't have time to put a move on him. But good rollout, creating some space. Let Lounsbury throw on the run, and Shufflebine goes up and secures the pass, and then does a really good job of running after the catch.
Turns into a gain of about 28 for Shufflebine, who, after talking about only 9 yards in his first 3 catches, up to 37 yards now receiving on 4 grabs, as Caleb Lounsbury is nearing the century mark passing the football. The Governors have broken over 200 yards of offense now for the night.
Merrill back in.
Merrill will get the toss right side. He's got nowhere to go, though. No gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the tackle made by Gavin Johnson. 2nd and 10 from the Yankton 35-yard line.
You can see Yankton's defense has made a little bit of an adjustment on that toss sweep. They're not flowing quite as fast. Merrill cut that one back, and there was somebody there where every time that he's been able to cut back in the past, there's been big open lanes.
3 receivers out far side. Pistol formation here for the Governors. 2nd and 10 from the Yankton 35-yard line. Lounsbury looks to pass, throws. Shufflebine's wide open. He breaks in the middle of the field. He's out to the 15, to the 10. He is gone for a touchdown. With 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, Carter Shufflebine from 35 yards out. No one's catching him with that kind of speed and that kind of space. And a touchdown for the Governors.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little in route. Terwilliger running off the tight end spot, running the corner, really sucked the defense out of that middle. And Shufflebine just kind of runs a slant right across the middle, finds it, uses his speed to beat the opposite safety to the corner.
That is his 5th touchdown of the season for Carter Shufflebine. Extra point pending here from Carter Templeton. Extra point is going to be blocked. It looked like they jumped the snap almost, but it was blocked, and it is still 28-20. It's still a 1-possession game, but now the Governors would have to go for 2 to try and just tie the game up. But it is 28-20, 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Back in 30 seconds here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hi, I'm South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley. If you are a crime victim, there is a way you can stay updated on your case. Crime victims can access the statewide Automated Victim Information and Notification System, or SAVIN. This free service provides victims with important criminal information and notifications. For more information, call 1-844-299-4608 or go to savin.sd.gov.
A 76-yard drive for the Pierre Governors that resulted in a 35-yard touchdown catch from Carter Shufflebine from Caleb Lounsbury, and it's 28-20 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. As the Yankton Bucks will get the ball back, 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. We'll see if the Governors can find their way to getting a defensive stop and give the Govs a chance, that offense a chance to tie the ball game up. 28-20 after the block extra point. Mendel set a running start for the guy who blocked it. I believe it was Edley Amaro that made the block. But either way, a running start to keep this a 8-point game and force the Governors to have to go for 2. Here's a squib kick that'll bounce over the head. It'll be picked up by LaCroix at the 16-yard line. He's out to the 25, goes that far side of the field again, and this time he's not going to get as big of a return. He'll be stopped at the 30-yard line where Yankton will take over and have to drive 70 yards down the field with 1:52 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, much better coverage there. And of course, with the squib kick, ball bouncing around, it actually bounced over the head of the up back, so gave Pierre's coverage team a little bit more time to get downfield and fill the lanes, and he just wasn't able to run all the way across the field as successfully as last time.
We'll see if Sedlacek gets used a little bit more. He has not run the ball yet this half. Only had 4 carries in the second quarter. He gets split out wide as Bestie will look to pass. He's going to be chased down by Schaefer. The throw on the run, it was tipped, almost intercepted by the Governors, but it will fall incomplete. As was it Schoenhard that was there to try and make almost had an opportunity in the interception.
Yep. Yeah, good coverage by Pierre there. I was looking at secondary. There was nobody open. They emptied the backfield, tried to get that post play that they hit on earlier, and it was well covered, and he just didn't have any place to go. Tried to throw it away and ended up throwing it into danger.
Now Bessie will roll to his left. He'll throw on the run. It's going to be incomplete as he did for Eisnes. And Eisnes was a little bit too far, led him a little bit too far. That's a tough throw when you're a right-handed throwing quarterback. You're rolling to your left. That turns into a tough throw, but now it's a big 3rd down and 10 here for Yankton, with Pierre trying to get off the field and have an opportunity to try and tie the ball game up late in the third.
Yeah, they seem to like to roll him to the left. They've done that quite a bit tonight, but again, Schoenhard did a really good job of getting wider from his linebacker spot, and that makes that throw a lot tougher.
2 receivers here on the near side. Bestie will drop back to pass. He'll throw down the field, and it's going to be overthrown of Eisnes. It falls incomplete, and you can hear a little bit of that Pierre Governor faithful across the way. That was a pretty loud cheer, and it's 4th down, a 3 and outs by Yankton on 3 incomplete passes, and they will punt the ball away for just the 2nd time here tonight.
Yeah, 3 and out on 23 seconds of time of possession, right after your defense has given up a couple touchdowns here in this quarter. Good momentum for Pierre, and a really good result out of the defense there.
Carter Shufflebine is back deep here for the Pierre Governors. This will be an end over end kick. Shufflebine will field. He's wrapped up. He's able to break free. Then he'll lose a couple yards. He'll mostly be where he caught it is where he's down with 1:27 to go, and the Governors will take over at their own 37-yard line. And they go down 63 yards down the field. And a 2-point conversion, they can tie the ball game up after trailing 21-0 earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, low line drive punt, but Yankton pretty speedy on the coverage there. It looked like Pierce had a lot of pressure, maybe trying to throw him off or get a block. Didn't happen. Not much of a choice there other than catch the ball and get what you could, which wasn't too much.
With only 1:27 to go now here in the third quarter, we'll see again if the Governors can keep the clock moving, how quickly they want to move down the field. 2 receivers here near side. Terwilliger, the tight end, also here near side. Play action. Lounsbury
wide
looking
open
for Terwilliger, who's open, and it's overthrown. Terwilliger was slow moving down the field. He was open, but he had a little bit of hesitation as Lounsbury was throwing the football. tried to hit him in stride and just overthrew him by a second.
And there was that play action pass to Merrill that Yankton's been flowing to that run so hard. Perfect timing, first down, and with the momentum, that could have been a backbreaker for the Yankton defense. Just overshot him a little bit. He was clear by 8 yards.
Two receivers here near side. As it rolling to the right was Lounsbury. Throw for Terwilliger. That's behind him, off of his hands, incomplete. And now it's third down here for the Governors. And boy, what could have been at least 28-26 ball game now is third down and 10 from your own 37, and you have to find a way to get a first down here.
Yeah, a little bit behind Terwilliger on that pass. Couldn't haul it in. Probably didn't have a lot. He'd have had to break a tackle or two to get it too much of a gain anyway. But yeah, you gotta connect here and make a good play.
Terwilliger will split out wide left side. Three receivers here at near side. Lounsbury will drop back to pass, looking down the field. He's hit as he throws, looking for Scheffelbein. He will be out of bounds, and it will be fourth down and 10. And Scheffelbein, he hit one of the people that were standing there.
Cameraman.
Yeah, one of the camera guys, and Scheffelbein was a little slow to get up, and it's now fourth down, and maybe they give a little bit of an injury timeout just so Scheffelbein can get off the field. He seems to be okay, but it's now fourth down. The Governors will have to go 3 and out. And Scheffelbein will actually have to come out of the ball game because they did blow the play dead for him to make sure that he was okay.
Yeah, he's tracking the ball over his shoulder. Pass leads him out of bounds, and then he smacks right into the camera guy there and doesn't see it coming. Certainly doesn't expect to get hit from the front side when he's beating the defender.
So here is the punt upcoming for Pierre after a 20-some second drive for Yankton, another 20-second drive for the Governors. Lounsbury, good punt, fair catch, caught at around the 32-yard line. Eisnes makes the fair catch, and 1:05 remaining. And Yankton has a chance to go back up by 2 scores.
A couple 3 and outs after some offensive success from both teams here. 55 seconds off the clock and 2 possessions. That makes for a later night getting home.
Don't remind us. We are closing in at 9 o'clock at KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Maybe that's the reminder.
It was a subtle
the legal
hint.
ID.
Yeah.
Got to make sure the legal ID.
Because I know all about that stuff.
That's right. 2 receivers here near side, shotgun formation. Tate Bestie, who has not thrown the ball much, but he has missed on his last 3 in this third quarter. Sedlacek will finally get a handoff. Just his 5th carry since the first quarter ended, and he'll pick up about just a gain of 1 or 2. They're going to spot him at the 35-yard line. So second down and 8.
Yeah, I was kind of with you. I was surprised they didn't go to him a little bit earlier. It's almost into the quarter before he gets a touch.
Down to 37 seconds. Could be the final play of this third quarter. Bestie will hand it off. They'll go up the middle. This time it's Sedlacek again, and he's got a big hole out to the 45-yard line. Trying to strip the ball free was Porter Hunsley, but it turns into a big gain out of the 41-yard line. And it turns into a gain of 24 for Yankton and a first down for the Bucks.
Yeah, simple handoff there. Pierre looked like they were expecting pass. They kind of brought some outside pressure, and Yankton was able to kind of gash them up the middle.
Yankton doesn't have to run a play here to end the third quarter. They will run one more, but no, there will be flags that might push them back 5 yards.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 8, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's Carson Krall that gets called for the penalty. That's their 7th penalty of the ball game for a total of 44 yards. Governors have just 1 penalty for 4 yards right now. 40-yard difference in penalties. Game clock will run down. That will take us to the end of the third quarter. So we will head to the fourth, and the Pierre Governors down by 8, 28-20, going into the fourth quarter. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Looking for a pharmacy that truly cares? At Vilas Pharmacy, we're committed to providing the best for your healthcare needs. We offer competitive pricing on all your prescriptions, ensuring you get great value without compromising on quality. Conveniently located right here in Pierre, getting your medications is always easy. Plus, you'll experience truly personalized service from our friendly and knowledgeable team. We're here to help you every step of the way. Make the switch to a pharmacy that puts you first. Visit us online at vilaspharmacy.com or call us today at 605-224-0907. James Valley Landscape and Solutions, creating breathtaking spaces. All because of them. With 40 years of experience and the best landscaping team in the business, hired them to create spaces unimaginable. For a career with great benefits and a rewarding salary, let them hire you. James Valley Landscape and Solutions. So as we start the fourth quarter, Pierre Governors are down 28-20 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Be first and 15 from the 46-yard line, as it'll be a play action. Bestie rolling to his right, looking down the field, throws, and will overthrow his intended receiver as he was looking for Boomsma. And it's second down and 15 from the 46.
Yeah, really good coverage there by the Pierre secondary. Double covered on Boomsma. He had two receivers coming. Hard play action pass with the running back going left and then the quarterback booting right. And two receivers crossing, both of them well covered.
So second down and 15. Bestie now 15 of 23, but he's missed his last four pass attempts. He's only 2 of 6 in the second half. As Bestie will move a man in motion, three receivers stacked up right side. Bestie drops back to pass, looking to his left, now throws over the middle, and it will be a diving grab, and will be caught near the first down marker, and I believe it will be a first down, as it was number 14 in Hazelhorse, and it will be a gain of 15, and it's first down.
Yeah, good catch and good pass. He looked to his running back, flaring out to the left side originally. Comes back late over the middle, which is usually something you don't want to do, and Sunshine made a good break on the ball. Just didn't quite get in front of the receiver enough to either break it up or make the interception.
Two receivers out far side. Started the fourth quarter here for Pierre and Yankton. Bestie on the design quarterback draw. He's got nowhere to go, no gain. That defensive line there for the Pierre Governors, and it's second down and 10 for Yankton.
Bestie's not a super physical quarterback running the football. He's looking to get out into space, and if Pierre can keep him contained and keep him in the pocket, he's going to have a lot less success.
Two receivers on each side. Shotgun formation, second down and 10 from the 31 with 10:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Yankton leads it 28-20. Rolling to the left is Bessie, throws off of his back foot. He's in between both Boomsma and Eidsness, and it's now third down and 10. This Pierre Governor defense, Mendel, we mentioned it in the third quarter, and even towards the end of the second quarter, this is a team that's really defending the football well, and Bessie has not been comfortable throwing the football in this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Hudson Schaefer putting some pressure on him there, making him throw off his back foot, and certainly been less accurate over the last quarter and a half than he was the first quarter and a half.
Third down and 10 from the Governor 31-yard line. Bestie rolling to his right, looking to pass. There's a flag that will fly. The throw, the catch by Hazelhorse. A fantastic catch in traffic with Sutton Sunshine draped all over him, but there is a flag that was thrown as the pass was being thrown by Bestie, which will probably be a hold against Yankton and will force them back and be another devastating penalty against the Bucks.
Absolutely a hold.
Hear from our referee.
Holding on the offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
Drayson Gaskins gets called for it. Another 10-yard holding penalty. That is the 8th penalty of the ball game against Yankton for a total of 54 yards. Again, Pierre's been penalized just once so far. And it is third down and 20 from the 41-yard line.
Maxima Schmitz drew that holding penalty in big play.
This is a must stop here for the Pierre Governors. Bestie drops back to pass, throws over the middle. Hazelhorse is wide open to make the catch. He's not going to get the first down, but it is a gain of about 15 yards, and it makes it 4th down and 5. We'll call it a gain of 14 for Hazelhorse, and it's 4th and 6.
Interesting decision here for Yankton. I think their kicker's probably capable of making this field goal, but they're going to keep the offense on. Just a little bit too big of a gain there for Pierre to feel confident of getting the stop.
4th down and 6 from the 27. Going to get to around the 21-yard line here for Yankton. Rolling to the right is Bestie. Looking to throw. Now he'll step up. He's rolling to the right. He is hit. Ball comes free. Ball is down. The Governors fall on it. Twilliger will get the fumble. And it's 1st and 10 for Pierre at their own 44. They're going to get good field position, but tack on an extra 10 yards. The Governors have a chance to go down and tie the ball game up again with the first turnover of the game for Yankton.
Yeah, really nice play there again. They roll him right, and I think it might have been Terwilliger that set the edge over there and really hemmed him in. He couldn't get outside of him, so when he doubled back and came back, the Pierre pursuit caught him. I didn't catch the number. My bad on that as far as who caused the fumble, but a really good hit, jarring it loose. Thought for a second Terwilliger was going to be able to scoop and score there.
So they will start their own 43-yard line with the Governors with 9:33 to go here in the 4th quarter. And we'll see if the Govs can score, get the 2-point conversion, and tie the ball game up. Lounsbury drops back to pass. He'll throw downfield, double coverage, shuffle by, and he will make the catch on the run. And it's 1st down and inside the red zone for the Governors at the 18-yard line.
That happened on the far side from us, but he had to be tight-roping the sideline when he made that catch because I'm really sure his second step was out of bounds because he stopped running and he knew it. So that first foot down on the catch had to be right on the line.
Gain of 39 for Carter Shufflebine. Now 111 yards receiving, right back to that average per game. 3 catches for 9 yards. Now all of a sudden he's got 6 catches for 111 yards. That's how quickly things can change in favor of the Pierre Governors. 2 receivers near side. Carter Merrill gets the handoff. He will get his way inside the 15-yard line down to the 14, a gain of 4. And now again, the Governors now at a point where they're at. How quick do you want to move? Because you know if you want to try and win in regulation, you're going to have to move somewhat quick, although Yankton will move fast for you too. But it is a little bit of playing clock management in a different way right now for the Governors who are down by 8.
Yeah, I think they need to get a touchdown. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of time left, and Yankton's capable of moving the ball. Got to figure Pierre's going to have to score twice.
This will be from the near side, a toss for Merrill, 2nd down and 6. Merrill will get inside the 10 to around the 8-yard line where he's running out of bounds. It'll spot him at the 9, so it's 3rd down and 1, a gain of 5 for Carter Merrill. And the Governors will have it 3rd and 1 from the 9-yard line.
Good run there by Merrill. He stayed outside, took it outside. He's been cutting that play back up the middle and getting good success, but he realized that the hole was outside this time and got about all he could get out of it.
3rd down and 1 from the 9-yard line. Moving from right to left, Yankton in Buck territory. Down by 8, 28-20 with 8:34 to go. Clock is stopped right now. Twilliger in the backfield, more as a fullback. Handoff for Merrill. He will dive forward, but he's got no gain. And it's 4th down and 1. They were trying to lead forward with Twilliger, but a man came off the edge untouched. I believe that was number 9 in Talon Kenny. And it's, well, Gavin Johnson will get the tackle, but I think Kenny was the one that got to him. So no gain for Merrill, and it's 4th down and 1. And of course, down by 8. 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You're going to go for it from the 9-yard line.
Yeah, you called it right. It was Tenney coming off the end with Terwilliger in the backfield. There was nobody out there to really block him, and he came screaming in off the edge. Terwilliger blocking up the middle as a lead back.
So now Terwilliger over on the tight end side. It'll be a quick screen pass over for Terwilliger in the backfield. He's not going to get there. He's going to lose a yard back to the 10. And on 4th and 1, they'll lose a yard, and the catch completed to Terwilliger. That one was read well by Yankton, and they will take over at their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, extremely well read by the Yankton defense. There was about 3 people there on him. You run the play fake, try to hit the quick screen to your big tight end. Hope it's a one-on-one matchup. Unfortunately for Pierre, it was about a 1-on-3 matchup, and Cooper couldn't break all those tackles in order to get the first down.
So now as they start at 7:48 to go here in the fourth quarter at their own 10-yard line is Yankton. And they've got an opportunity to try and put this game on ice if they can go down and score. They can take their time as well. They don't need to score up by 8, as this will be a handoff. Trying to go up the middle of Sedlacek. He stiff arms a man to get free. Sunshine will come in to make the tackle. But it will turn in from what was a gain of 0 to now a gain of 4 out to around the 14-yard line for Sedlacek.
Yeah, he made a nice run there. Breaks the tackle in the backfield. But really look for Yankton to try to lean on him here and run some clock and try to gain some yards. Try to make it tough on Pierre to get the ball back.
Receiver comes in motion. That's Boomsma. They'll go play action. Throw it to Boomsma. He is run down by Sunshine, who read that one well. And it turns into maybe a loss of 1. But it's 3rd down and about 7 now here for the Yankton Bucks. I think they're going to spot him right back at the line of scrimmage. So no gain for Boomsma. And that's kind of somewhat of a break for Yankton that didn't turn into a loss of any kind.
Yeah, and it was really close to being either incomplete or a fumble. Sutton hit him right as he caught the ball. Did a great job of coming down hard from the safety position and filling on his man.
3rd down and 6 from the 14-yard line. Isnes goes in motion far side, and that will be a false start penalty. The center did not snap the football, and it's
false start in the offense. Number 56, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Thought maybe we were going to get the false start, everyone but the center.
Yeah.
But it is another. That's the 9th penalty now against Yankton, and from 3rd down and 6 to 3rd down and 11 from their own 9-yard line. Again, penalties can be a factor, big factor in this fourth quarter right now, because it's almost taken the Yankton Bucks out of position to get a first down, especially because you have to get a first down right now, backed up in your own territory. Bestie, shotgun formation, 2 receivers out far side. Twilliger looking to come off the edge. Play clock is down to 6. Bestie will drop back to pass, throws, a man wide open on the flat, trying to get to that first down marker. Isnes makes a cut. He stays in bounds as he slides down for a first down, a gain of 12, and a really heads-up play by Owen Isnes to keep the clock rolling on that gain of 12.
Yeah, just a little 2-receiver concept switch route, and Pierre was kind of lost the underneath receiver of those pair, and he had some running room after he got the catch.
2 receivers here near side. Sedlacek will get the handoff. He'll get to around the 26-yard line, a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down and 5. And now clock management comes in favor of Yankton right now. Sedlacek has got 84 yards on 18 carries. Bestie has thrown for nearly 200 yards, 191 unofficially on 19 of 28. But this is, again, the time is of the essence for the Pierre Governors. They need a defensive stop with 5:25 to go. They have all 3 timeouts, but things are starting to really wind down here for the Governors with the play clock down to 8, and Yankton taking all kinds of time that they want. Play clock down to 3, and there we get a whistle. Is that a false start against the Yankton Bucks, or did Cooper Twilliger jump the snap count? Is it a 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10? Not sure who is actually going to be on now.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, result in a first down.
Only the 2nd penalty against the Pierre Governors, but it is a costly one that gives Yankton a free set of downs. 1st and 10 now from the 31-yard line. And they will wind the clock, and with 40 seconds on the play clock, they can take this down to way down to about 4.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it only takes 3 plays at 40 seconds a pop to get 2 minutes knocked off the clock. So 2 more first downs is going to put Pierre in a really ugly situation.
Now we got the clock is stopped. It's Hazelhorse coming off. Does he have some blood?
Number 14 is not using a mouthpiece. Needs to be replaced for 1 play.
Oh, yeah, no mouse.
The clock will start at the snap.
So now the clock is stopped.
Big break for Pierre. They just lost the ability to run 20 seconds off the clock.
So 4:51 to go. Clock is stopped. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. 2 receivers far side Yankton still leading by 8. And now we get a whistle, and now I think that will drop Yankton back 5 yards.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Riley Mortensen gets called for it. Hazelhorst is coming on the field now. I'm assuming that constitutes a play for him to come back on the field. Oh, no, well, I think they
chased him off.
Yeah, they're chasing him off again. So Hazelhorst will have to come back off. Back onto the field is William Rounds. 1st and 15 now from the 26-yard line. Game clock's at 4:50. A second did come off the clock on that false start penalty. And this will be a handoff here for Sedlacek up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 yards to make it 2nd down and 12. And so now to the 29. The nice run for Sedlacek, who is nearing 100 yards rushing. See if the Governors, with that 1st and 15, can they find a way to get off the field here? The way this drive is going right now for Yankton, with 4:20 left to go, they barely will have to get across midfield, it feels like, before the time will run out on the Governors.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be critical for Pierre right now to make this stop.
28-20, Yankton leads by 8 over the Pierre Governors. From the pistol formation, Sedlacek will get the handoff. He will have near a first down. Porter Hunsley got him out of bounds, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2, a gain of 10 for Sedlacek, and it's very much manageable here for the Yankton Bucks. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. Too big a gain. The bright side is he did go out of bounds, so the clock stops at 3:59, but certainly more yardage than Pierre would have liked to have given up.
Now, if you're Yankton 2, do you 3rd and 2 and it turns into 4th and 2 or 4th and 1? Do you end up finding a way to go for it on 4th down? They're moving one man up on the line. There'll be a handoff. Sedlacek's going to lose a yard. First man to get to him was Sam Larson. A loss of 1, and that will bring out the punting unit. Huge tackle for Sam Larson, and it's 4th down and 3, and a loss of 1 for Sedlacek.
Yeah, really big play there. Come through the line. Pierre with a double inside linebacker blitz. Larson comes up free, makes a hit, drags him down in the backfield. And Pierre's going to get the ball back with about 3 minutes to go.
And Pierre, again, they can't win the football game with just one score. The best and what they have to do is tie the ball game up. They're down by 8, so they have to go for 2 if they score and get it to try and maybe force overtime, as this will be a nice kick from Yankton. Slipping was shuffled by him, but he will end up still picking up several yards. And it will be 1st and 10 from around the 24-yard line with 3:03 to go.
3 minutes and 3 seconds with 3 timeouts. Certainly enough time. You don't have to hurry, don't have to be too panicked. You can still run the ball occasionally. Here in the second half, Pierre's taken a couple different deep shots. They hit the one down the right sideline, but I wouldn't be surprised if they take another one, but hopefully pick up a couple first downs first and then try to hit the home run.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. 2 receivers here near side. As Mendel said, all 3 timeouts still remaining here for the Governors, and they have 3 minutes to try and go down the field and score and get a 2-point conversion. Lounsbury drops back to pass here on 1st down. Looking, throw over the middle. Catch made by Terwilliger. He's got a 1st down to around the 37-yard line. Gain of 11 on that 1st down throw and catch from Lounsbury to Terwilliger.
Really nice job there by Terwilliger. There's actually 4 defenders right in his area, but he did a great job of coming back about 2 yards and came underneath of all 4 of those defenders, kept his body between them and the ball, and made the catch.
3 receivers now out wide on the right side. No receivers here near side, but Terwilliger, the tight end, will go out on a pattern. They'll throw it here to the near side. Terwilliger will make the catch. He stays on his feet, and then he is being wrestled down to around the 50-yard line. A gain of about 13 for Terwilliger, and a 1st down for the Governors as they get to the midfield mark.
little lax on ball security there with the ball, but if you got hands as big as Cooper, I guess you can get away with holding it above your head with one hand.
2:21 to go. The clock is rolling. They didn't say Terwilliger got out of bounds as Lounsbury rolled to his right. He'll throw on the run. Catch is made by Lincoln Dilges. He's got a gain of about 12 yards to the 39. They'll call it a gain of 11 to the 39-yard line, and another first down for the Governors.
Yeah, nice pass there. Roll out left. Dilges on the out, catches the ball, takes a couple steps, gets out of bounds. Piling up the first downs here. Lounsbury in a nice rhythm, throwing the ball, hitting them right in stride.
He is 5 for 5 in this quarter. 200 yards passing now for Lounsbury. And he has hit 5 different Governors on pass attempts throughout this ball game. 2:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the 39. Over the middle, there's going to be a flag that will be thrown. That should be pass interference or a hold of some kind against Terwilliger, as he had just one hand free. And we'll see if that's a 15-yard penalty or maybe a 10-yard holding penalty. Or is it going to be a sideline warning?
warning?
Oh, nope.
Yankton, first of the half. There's no penalty. It's a warning.
I thought maybe it was a lot of hold on Cooper Terwilliger, but it does just turn it into an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 for the 39 with 2:07 to go. And Pierre probably also wants to try and keep all 3 timeouts if they can. You know, you want to go score and tie the ball game up, but if you don't, you want those 3 timeouts in your back pocket to try and take on the defensive side. 2 receivers here near side. Clock is stopped, obviously, after the incomplete pass with 2:07 to go. 2nd and 10 for the 39. Lounsbury steps up the pocket. Now he's going to take off with it. He will be thrown forward for a gain of about 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and 7 from the 36-yard line.
Yeah, good job there. There's nobody open. He didn't have time. The pocket was crumbling. He didn't have time to sit and wait for somebody to break open. Get what you can up the middle, especially in a time frame like this. You have to have a positive play.
1:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Governors down by 8, 28-20. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts. Governors are trying to tie the ball game up. 3rd down and 7. Lounsbury drops back to pass, throws over the middle. Terwilliger's got it at the 20 to the 15-yard line where he is down, and the Govs have 1st and 10. Gain of 24 for Terwilliger, and it's the Govs back in the red zone with 1:23 to go.
Yeah, and he was tackled inbounds, so the clock will start once they get the ball and the change set. But great route by Terwilliger there, and Lounsbury stepping up and rifling the ball with a lot of confidence there.
Now, if you're Pierre where you're sitting at, you almost want to just score with no time left in the clock and not give Yankton a chance to score late in the fourth quarter. Lounsbury looking to throw, looking to the right side. Still looking, now throws towards the sideline, and Jaron Deal just misses that opportunity to tiptoe his way inbounds and make the catch. Or is that Shufflebein he was throwing to? Looks like maybe number 7 was the intended receiver, not number 1. And it will be 2nd down and 10. That was number 1, Jaron Deal. 1 and 7 from this distance, and the road jerseys look very similar.
Yeah, they gotta fix that. That's just poor planning.
But both guys are so athletic too. It's really hard to tell each one apart from the distance of where we're at. 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle. Throwing for Terwilliger. That's going to be incomplete. Right now, actually, Carter Shufflebein not in the ball game. He's standing over without a helmet on near the 45-yard or 35-yard line. You hope that that's, more caution than anything. But it's 3rd down and 10 from the 15-yard line. He still might be feeling the effects of running into the cameraman that was down there on that 3rd down play.
Yeah, I don't know what Pierre has in their playbook, but Carter Merrill was wide open on that one coming out of the backfield. Nobody accounting for him. He'd have walked into the end zone, so maybe they can swing it out to him or get him out of the backfield.
3rd down and 10 for the 15. Throwing it over. The tip is incomplete. Danberg took a huge hit after he tried to make that catch. And it will be a flag that was also thrown. And will they back him up to make it 3rd down and 20 or 4th down and 10 with 52 seconds to go? Most likely it will be a hold.
Holding on the offense, number 55. That penalty's declined. It's off the play, 4th down.
Max Schmitz is called for it. but they decline the penalty. 4th and 10, and the Governors will take one of those 2 or 3 timeouts. And really, and I know I said you're going to try and save all 3 timeouts if you don't score, but really in this spot, the ball game's right here. If you don't score with 52 seconds left, those 3 timeouts pretty much become moot at that point. Even if you get the ball back, you're only going to have about 10 seconds to try and get a Hail Mary pass to tie the ball game up. So this timeout is very useful here for the Pierre Governors to try and, they got to get to the 5-yard line. They don't have to score right now, but they have to get to the 5-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. They have to call this timeout and get the play they want, decide what they're going to do, get everybody on the same page. If you don't use it, you throw it and you don't make the first down, it's under 50. Yankton's going to run 15 seconds off. By the time you burn your 3 timeouts, there's no guarantee you stop them on 3 downs anyway and get the ball back. So really, as you said, this is the game on this play here. It'll be interesting to see without Scheffelbein in the game. Terwilliger's been huge in this drive. He's probably the first option over the middle, and Yankton knows that. So is there somebody else that Pierre tries to go to?
So 4th down and 10 for the 15. 3 receivers out far side here for the Governors. Lounsbury will roll to his right. Pressure comes, throws on his back foot, catch is made to the end zone, touchdown! Governors are a 2-point conversion away, but a flag has been thrown at the end. Is that going to be against Yankton?
I think it's a roughing the passer.
Jaron Deal makes the catch. Lounsbury is slow to get up. And Coach Steele would have to, if they check on him, they will have to take a timeout so Lounsbury can stay in the ball game. Because Casey Michelson is walking him over to the sideline.
Right, but one huge part here, too, is that penalty's on Yankton, and the 2-point conversion's half the distance.
Yeah, that'll be from the 1-yard line then, and you get someone like Cooper Twilliger that could maybe just run the ball in to tie the ball game up with 45 seconds to go.
The touchdown's good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 11. That penalty is going to be enforced half the distance on the try. That's first for number 11 towards disqualification.
So an unsportsmanlike penalty against Edley Amaro, and so that probably doesn't factor into him being disqualified at this point, but it turns into now a 2-point conversion from basically the 1.5-yard line. And the Pierre Governors will take their second timeout. That will allow Caleb Lounsbury to come back in the ball game. Since they checked on him, trainer came out, they can take the timeout. Lounsbury can come back in and take the snap. Jaron Deal makes the catch, runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. We are seconds away from the ball game. Now also Pierre's got 1 timeout and an onside kick that they could go get the ball back if they don't score the 2-point conversion. I don't think that you want to do it. You'd like to have this game tied at 28 and try and force overtime, but you still got a timeout and still time on your hands if you don't get the 2-point conversion to try and get the
it's still there.
Onside kick.
It's still there if you don't get the 2. I mean, you're not out of the game.
Now, maybe this is an opportunity for the Pierre Governors to turn things around on a 2-point conversion late in the 4th quarter. Now, it's not a playoff game, but two of the last 3 playoff losses for the Pierre Governors have been failed 2-point conversions to win a football game. This one won't win it, but it will certainly tie it and probably force overtime. Max Schmitz is in the backfield.
That's
going to be Porter Hunsley that will be the quarterback. When they take a timeout, Will Yankton. Max Schmitz, more as a fullback. Porter Hunsley will get the snap. He'll try and dive it in. He walks it in. He is in. And we are tied at 28 with 45 seconds to go. The 2-point conversion is good. And everybody take a deep breath because this ball game just became a lot more fun with 45 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, it was pretty fun anyway.
Right.
But it's a lot more fun when the score is tied. So, we talked about at the end of the first half, Yankton only had 18 seconds. Now they have 45 seconds in desperation mode, 3 timeouts. I'd say that Pierre's defense is going to have to make a stop yet. They got to step up and make a stop. But a great play there. That now lost in all this. There's a couple things. Number one, a great throw by Lounsbury and a great catch by Deal. On 4th and 10, Lounsbury fading back, throwing off his back foot. Deal running across the field, makes the catch, still isn't past the first down marker, makes the catch, turns it upfield, not only gets a first down, but gets a touchdown. Secondly, Lounsbury was not in for that 2-point conversion. So what's his medical status after getting hit? They called it unsportsmanlike. I kind of saw it. It was not a taunting unsportsmanlike. I'll just say that.
So and also the deal is too, in high school, overtime is just like college overtime, except you get the ball at the 10-yard line, but every team gets a chance to possess each overtime, and you can play as many overtimes as you need, but that will be, it's not can the Governors can the Governors get 10 yards without Lounsbury in the game, potentially? Are they going to be able to score offensively without him as your quarterback? That's going to be the biggest issue. They're looking at, is that Lounsbury that's taking some snaps
Deal,
right now?
I think, is taking some snaps maybe.
Yeah, it is going to be Jaron Deal, and then also Carter Merrill is in the backfield, or showing that he's in the backfield. But it will be a squib kick here with 45 seconds to go. It'll be picked up out to the 34-yard line, and a good tackle where Yankton will take over, as that was Kenny that will return it to the 34-yard line. And this will be the most likely final possession of regulation. 42 seconds remaining. Can Yankton get into field goal range to try a potential long field goal? They're actually going to spot at the 35. But can they get into field goal range in 42 seconds, under 42 seconds, to try and win the ball game? 3 receivers here near side. They stack them up on that right side, and then we get a whistle.
Procedure. Yep.
And it will be a 5-yard penalty against Yankton, which will be their 11th penalty of the ball game.
Ball start. The offense, number 17.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Abe O'Brien is called for it. And actually, that would be the 12th penalty of the ball game. Tacking on that, they didn't put down the penalty for the unsportsmanlike conduct. It only cost them 1.5 yards, but still a 12th penalty of the ball game for Yankton. 3 receivers here near side. 1st and 15 from the 42-yard line at the 30-yard line now. Can they go 70 yards down the field? From the shotgun, rolling to the right is Bestie, looking to throw. All kinds of time, now throws, catches made, inbounds. Will Eilers makes the tackle. Timeout will be taken by Coach Brady Muth, as it was caught by number 1 in Carter Boomsma, and a gain of 6 to make it 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, those penalties on Yankton's got to be driving the coaching staff crazy. So many illegal procedure, motion penalties, and things like that. And like that, in that case there, it's a wide receiver split out wide. That's kind of a cardinal rule not to do, is make a procedure penalty from the outside receivers. You can watch the ball snap the same as the defense. So to do that, got to be driving Yankton crazy. They've had some real critical penalties. We can go all the way back to the holding call on 4th and 10 that allowed Pierre to score a touchdown.
2nd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. 28-28 on the American Family Insurance Brady Shuffle by and scoreboard. Look, and I don't even know if I have and I probably have to look it up on my phone, looking at the kicking stats of both Kevin Ortiz and Liam Villanueva to see how long their longest field goal is. They have kicked at least a 29-yard field goal, has Yankton this year, but that still puts you down right around the 19-yard line. Shotgun formation. Bestie will throw to the nearest far side. The catch will be made and out of bounds to the 50-yard line for Eisnitz. A 19-yard gain. Make that a 14-yard gain. And it's 1st and 10 from the 50 with 29 seconds to go. And Owen Eisnitz has been the favorite target for Tate Bestie once again tonight, making now 7 catches for 70 yards. 1st and 10 from the 50.
You can tell Pierce very concerned about Bestie scrambling out of the pocket too. Their rush, they're just trying to contain him.
Still 29 seconds and 2 timeouts for Yankton. 1 timeout remaining for the Governors. Throw to the near side. That'll fall incomplete. Looking for Boomsma. And it's second down and 10 from the 50-yard line with 24 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Bestie is now a total of 21 of 31 for 211 yards of the 358 yards of total offense for the Yankton Bucks. Pierre has turned into a total of 366 yards of offense, so they actually have outgained Yankton to this point. After being down 21-0, they've come all the way back and tied it up at 28. Bestie rolling out to the left, still looking to throw. That one will be caught and out of bounds. And it's going to be Eisnitz that will make about an 8-yard catch, and it's third down and 2 with 20 seconds to go. You're getting closer to the point of, do you just try one more play and make it a Hail Mary type of play? End up calling it a gain of 7.
Yeah, they have a couple timeouts, so that's in their pocket to use, but it's third down. This is a big play because it's fourth down if it's an incomplete pass, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on them.
And then you run the football, and if you don't get it, then you force Pierre to take a timeout. As Bestie will throw near side, catch made by Eisnitz. He's at the 35 to the 30, down to the 25-yard line before he gets out of bounds with 11 seconds to go. And from third down and 2 in the 43, they pick up 18 yards. And it is first and 10 for Yankton, and they're nearing field goal range to try and win the ball game.
And you have the ball on the right hash, so that you have to definitely take that into consideration. Do you try to pass over the middle, get the ball centered, or is your kicker confident from the hash, right hash, left hash? I'm sure they want to shorten the distance as much as they can, but honestly, one more play is probably all they have to work with.
And again, do you run the football with 2 timeouts? Down to 5 seconds to go on the play clock. Down to 3 seconds. Can't take a penalty at this point. They will look to pass. Bestie throws over the middle. The catch is made into the end zone for a touchdown with 6 seconds to go. Owen Eisnitz makes another grab, and the Governors are down 34-28 with just 6 seconds remaining.
Yeah, really good play. Really nice pass. Pierre wasn't able to get enough pressure really to make Bestie move off his spot, and Eisnitz just runs a post play, cuts across the middle, and he hits him in stride, and he catches it about the 5-yard line and is able to get into the end zone.
15-yard penalty will be put on the kickoff.
Well, they're going to put it on the kickoff, which isn't a unsportsmanlike penalty against Yankton. Eisnitz obviously pretty excited that they've got a touchdown catch with 6 seconds to go, but you back them up 15 yards, you find a chance for Pierre to have one special play somewhere to try and win the ball, or still try and tie the ball game up. But it is an extra point upcoming. Yankton's up 34-28. The extra point will be up, and it will be good to make it 35-28. And so now with just 6 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, the Pierre Governors are down by 7, 35-28. And what kind of magic do they have here in Yankton to try and win the football, or at least tie the football game and send it overtime?
Yeah, exactly. 6 seconds, you really, if you return the kick at all, you're probably going to run out of time. So you either got to make the decision to return the kick and hope you break that. And is that going to be more likely to score than a Hail Mary? And if you don't return the kick, your Hail Mary is going to be from the 30 or 40-yard line on the other side of the 50. So you can't throw it that far. You're really in a difficult spot.
And it also allows Barry, don't know what his condition is, and if he can't get back into the ball game and try a Hail Mary pass, can Jaron Deal get it there? He's your backup quarterback, and he is the one that can get it there. And if you're Coach Steele, what Coach Slice's one of the special teams coaches, maybe they've got something. I mean, you got to have, if you're a special teams coach, you got to have something of special kind of a play to one, to make it fun in special teams practice, but 2, this is the time to pull it out to try and tie the game up with 6 seconds to go.
Right, and as you said, Jaron Deal's their backup quarterback. He's back to return the kickoff. If he gets the ball and he starts sprinting to the near sideline and he can stop and throw it back across the field, kind of the Tennessee Miracle or
Music City Miracle.
Music City Miracle, something like that. He can throw the ball. That might be might be what you pull out of your bag of tricks.
It'll be Villanueva that will kick this one away from the 25-yard line. It was a 15-yard penalty against Eisnes on the kickoff, or on the touchdown. It'll be fielded here for the Governors as they get out to the 30 to the 35-yard line. They'll flip it too far for Deal, who have to go and try and pick it up, but the ball game will be over as the Governors can't fall on top of it or can't pick it up. And Yankton will pick up the win 35-28 over the Pierre Governors. Oh, wait, is there... Well, the referees were blowing the whistle. They're just making sure that everything was good, but that will be a win for the Yankton Bucks, 35-28. We'll step aside and come back and finish out the post-game show back in 2 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Radon. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but this radioactive gas can pose a serious health risk. Don't take chances with your family's health. When you get a home inspection from Thorpe, you have the option to add professional radon testing. This isn't a home box test. This is testing thoroughly and accurately, giving you a clear picture of your home safety. You get your results immediately. No hassle, no wait. Don't settle for less. Ask for professional radon testing as an add-on or just call for the radon test. Thorpe Home Inspection. Your safety, our priority. Call today for your home's radon test. 605-301-9211.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Planting for next year is right around the corner, but do you know how much nutrients your crops will need? Fall soil sampling with CHS River Plains can help you look at each field's nutrient carryover, provide you with a more accurate farm plan, and allow you to take a position on those nutrients needed when you see fit. Plus, it'll make your life easier next spring when the planters are ready to roll and you don't have to wait. Contact your local CHS River Plains agronomist today, and we'll get the pickup headed your way.
As we welcome you back and into the postgame show, the Pierre Governors fall here tonight to the Yankton Bucks, 35-28 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. John Wickler alongside Mendel Miller as we start to look at some of our stats here this evening. And the Pierre Governors, well, we'll look at the drive-by-drive kind of summary. Governors went interception, punt, and punt before they finish out the half with an 81-yard touchdown drive and a 9-yard touchdown catch to Jaron Deal. Made it 21-7 at the half. Then the Governors got within 7 points. A 7-play drive to open up the half. 71-yard drive with a 2-yard touchdown rush by Carter Merrill. Then the Govs tied it up at 28-14, where Carter Schuffelbein had a 35-yard touchdown grab on a 76-yard drive. And then the Governors tied the ball game up, 74-yard touchdown drive, 15-yard pass from Lounsbury to Deal. The two-point conversion was good from Porter Hunsley on the rush. That tied the game up at 28. But in the final drive, it went 65 yards for the Yankton Bucks. 25-yard catch from Owen Eisnes as he had 2 touchdown grabs in that ball game for a total of 120 yards on 10 catches. As Lounsbury went 17 of 33, 3 touchdowns and an interception for 239 yards. Carter Merrill had a rushing touchdown, had 117 yards on 20 carries. Lounsbury ended up with a total of 10 yards on 3 carries, but 111 yards receiving for Carter Schuffelbein, who sticks with that average with 1 touchdown. Jaron Deal had 2 touchdown grabs, 3 catches for 34 yards. Twilliger had 5 catches for 57 yards. 2 catches for Lincoln Diligence of 24 yards, and Carter Merrill had a catch of 13 yards. As the Governors did finish with a total of 366 yards of offense, and were pretty balanced overall, even when they were down by 21. They had 56 plays, 23 rushing, 33 passing. And then for Yankton, 32 rushing, 34 passing, so they're even more balanced at near 50-50. But 408 yards of total offense for Yankton, 366 yards of total offense for the Pierre Governors. But in the second half, the Governors outgained Yankton 264-209 and forced that one turnover. Was a fumble that the Governors didn't recover. But Mendel, a really good football game, and there's a lot of good to come out of this for the Pierre Governors. Even with the loss, they don't want to lose a football game, but there's a lot of good in that second half of this ball game for the Govs to take away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you fall behind 21-0 on the road to a rival on their homecoming, and it's a pretty easy time to start feeling sorry for yourself, and they didn't do that. They battled back and got the game tied, and just were not able to make the one play on that last drive to get Yankton off the field or to send it to overtime. So I think one of the most important things now for Pierre will be how healthy are they. Certainly with Scheffelbein leaving and being unsure of how healthy Lounsbury is. And that's a really sad deal with Lounsbury running into a cameraman out of bounds.
Scheffelbein.
Yeah, sorry, yep. That's a tough one to take.
Yeah, he's did not play in that final couple of possessions for the Pierre Governors. Lounsbury ends up see how he is coming out of this game as well. And, things don't get easier for the Pierre Governors next Friday, and they won't get easier with the fact that, hopefully you have those two guys return on the offensive side. But also, this Pierre Governor team's going to go face an O'Gorman team that just beat Jefferson, who people regarded as the number 2 team in 11 AAA. Now the Govs have to go face them on the road next Friday in Sioux Falls at a 5 o'clock start. Going to be tough as well for them after a 35-28 loss here tonight between Yankton and Pierre.
Yeah, and all in all, a really good high school football game. I mean, if you just look at the game itself, a really good game, 35-28, and a lot of good plays, a lot of effort, a lot of positives to take off of the both sides of the ball for Pierre. We talked before, there's probably another rematch coming down the road, and certainly the success they had after the first quarter and a half will make them feel better going into that.
Yeah, and most likely that rematch, if it happens, would probably be here in Yankton too, because of this game tonight and Yankton winning 35-28. That it does come into that probably is going to be a factor that they have to come back down here in Yankton. Now they've done that several times over the course of a near 8 state title winning streak, but that is momentum for the Yankton Bucks going into the rest of the season, where the Governors fall to 3-2. Yankton now at 4-1, and really a really good second half. The Governors put themselves down a little bit by too much early on by not getting that offense going quickly, and by the time that they did, and they fought their way back. Again, credit to fighting back for this Pierre Governor team, but just a little bit, they've defensive side after the touchdown to make it 28-14, a punt, a fumble, and a punt before they finally got that game-winning touchdown that they were able to score in the last minute of the ball game. That's a really good offense that the Governors were able to hold down to 35 points, and really after being down 14-0 quickly, they only allowed those 21 points in the last 10 drives, seven drives of the ball game. Really good job by the Governor defense.
Yeah, exactly. I think they figured some things out. The Yankton's a good team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're talented. They did a lot of things in those first 2 drives. They threw a lot of things at Pierre that I haven't watched all of Yankton's film, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was some stuff that they hadn't shown before. And that's a lot to adjust to. And it was successful for them to get the lead, and a lead that they were able to capitalize on and get the win. But certainly the defense adjusted, started taking things away. Bestie was a problem with his scrambles and things like that, and I think that kind of impacted how Pierre wanted to rush the passer on that last drive and kind of sit back and play coverage. And when you do that, then he's also a really good thrower. So they have talented players, and they made the plays when they needed to.
Both teams with 1 turnover, a fumble for Yankton, an interception for the Governors. Yankton had 12 total penalties for 70 yards, which you could pretty much almost add 14. Actually, I don't even think I put the last one in there. So, yeah, they would have had 13 penalties for a total of 85 yards in that game instead of – and then you could almost to the point of adding 14 more yards because one of them was a 15-yard penalty that went half the distance to the goal for only ended up being a yard's worth of penalties. So they almost had 100 yards worth of penalties. And while they get the win here, you know that Coach Brady Muth is telling his guys that we can't take penalties. Pierre had 2 penalties for 9 yards. Their miscues for Pierre was on the penalty side. I mean, they were not unforced errors. Like Yankton almost had giving the game away to the Governors with all the penalties that they took. And then, good teams will beat you. Pierre's a good team. Yankton probably feels like they maybe got a little lucky tonight that they had that many penalties and still found a way to get a win.
Yeah, certainly a discrepancy that large is a lot to overcome. And they probably do feel that a little bit, especially when one of their penalties resulted in a touchdown for Pierre almost directly on a 4th and 10 that Pierre, they gave Pierre a first down, and then Pierre scores a touchdown. So you don't give away those points easily and win, and they were fortunate enough to overcome those.
Yeah, Pierre Governors fall 35-28 tonight here to the Yankton Bucks as they now move to 3-2 on the season. The Yankton Bucks move to 4-1. They will face O'Gorman next Friday, who beat Jefferson 32-29. Other 11 AA scores: Aberdeen upsets Sturgis 21-13. Brookings beats Roosevelt 21-7. Watertown with a 48-0 win over Douglas. Huron leads with the ball in the final minute over Spearfish 27-25, so they will remain at probably the number 2 team, but remain with just that one loss and move to 4-1. T ends up having to beat Mitchell in overtime 26-20. In Class 11 AA. Winner beat Miller Highmore Herald 36-8 in 11B as we look at some of the area scores. Wall beat Stanley County 56-6. In 9A, Platte Geddes ends up, after a really close first half, it was 28-22. Platte Geddes beats Lyman 64-28. Phillip with a 51-0 win over Jones County. And then also Sully Buttes earlier today had won 30-22 by the time that we got on the air. But they end up winning 30-22 to remain unbeaten as they get ready for their homecoming game next week Friday, as they will be back at home for the first time in several weeks. Waiting to hear and talk with Coach Steve Steele. I believe he'll be making his way over. I actually didn't see him make his way this way at all, but we'll see if we get a chance to have a conversation with him before we get off the air. 35-28 win for Yankton over the Pierre Governors as Pierre goes to 3-2 on the season. And again, a lot of this now will be the health of the Pierre Governors going into next week. Carter Schuffelbein does not finish the ball game. We don't know if Caleb Lounsbury would have came back out for that final play or not, but he was in pain after taking a hit late and had an unsportsmanlike penalty called on Yankton against him for a late hit. And so I don't know what his situation might be. Hopefully, Schuffelbein will be able to return. Hopefully for Lounsbury, it wasn't going to be more than just missing the 2-point conversion that they got to tie the ball game up. But the health of the Pierre Governors is now a little bit of a question. Again, if we get a chance to talk with Coach Steele, we can ask that question. If not, we'll have to wait till next week to start getting an answer, and he may have to wait till next week anyway to get an answer. But the health of the Pierre Governors starts to be a question mark going into next Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously going to O'Gorman and the 3A team and things like that's going to be a very physical contest as well. So you certainly want to err on the side of caution and not put people out there that aren't 100% in a full go. So it'll be an interesting week for Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre Governors, again, they will take on O'Gorman coming up next Friday, and that'll be a 5 o'clock start. 4:30 will be coverage, and then 5 o'clock will be kickoff between the Govs and the O'Gorman Knights from Sioux Falls, as we'll have that game a little bit earlier next Friday. Again, 35-28 win for Yankton over Pierre, as the Govs finished with a total of 366 yards of offense, but Yankton with that 408 in the last 25-yard touchdown catch from Owen Eidsness got into the end zone with just a couple seconds remaining to get the win over the Pierre Governors as the Govs fall to 3-2, and Yankton improves to 4-1 on the season as they Yankton will be looking forward to their trip to Sturgis next week. I say that kind of half jokingly. That's a long, long travel from the southeast corner of the state all the way out to the near western, basically the western edge of the state, from border to border. Pretty much have to go for Yankton to Sturgis, but another big game upcoming for them after Huron held on to beat Sturgis. Is holding on to beat Sturgis, but really for Pierre, again, next week, Friday, it's a game that 11 AAA really can only help you. I think at this point, a couple years ago, it would have been different where the Pierre Governors were, and they got a win against Brandon Valley in their 11 AAA game. But now at this point, you're saying a win is the bonus point. You're kind of looking at this, not that you're going to just go in and lose, but 11 AAA teams should probably beat 11 AA teams. That's the reason why there's those classifications that they have. But it is you get a chance to maybe gain some momentum against O'Gorman regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, I mean, I think if you ask the coaching staff and the players, they're going to expect to win. But, yeah, excuse me.
I did a really good job of helping you out there. But covering. That's all right. Continue. Well, again, we're looking to maybe we'll see if we can talk to Coach Steele. Again, I didn't see if he came up this way, but we'll see if we can get a word with him before we wrap up. We'll stay on the air for just a little bit longer before we'll wrap up and start to make our way back to Pierre tonight. But again, a 35-28 win for Yankton over Pierre.
Yeah, like I say, I tried to say before that coaching staff and players are going to expect to win, and that's the expectation. But it's going to be another chance to get better, and that's what you're really looking for.
And Coach Steele is joining us here in 35-28 win for Yankton here tonight. And Coach, initially 5 minutes after the game, the takeaway from this ball game.
Yeah, I'm very proud of our guys. Being down 21. This atmosphere, and homecoming and all that, it's not an easy thing to do, to just want to continue to fight. And they did, that's what we asked them to do at halftime. We just said, hey, we had a good drive to end the half. We get the ball. Let's go put pressure on them and see what happens. Fought all the way back. Defense made a couple good stops to give us opportunities to tie it. We finally get the one across the end zone, and they end up making a great play on the 2-minute drive, and it's football.
Yeah, absolutely, and we talked about that too. Down 21-0 on the road, easy to fold it up, and they just certainly didn't do that. But I thought that she really started making some adjustments and doing some really good things about halfway through the second quarter, especially on those pitch plays to Merrill where he was cutting back and finding really good cut lanes and stuff like that. Was that an adjustment that you guys made, or did he just see how fast Yankton was flowing to the ball?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. Our stuff initially, we had a couple drops in the first quarter that would have been big plays. We had a couple missed blocks on the third and short. We had just a couple, it just seemed like it was one thing, one play, one thing wrong with every play, kind of stopped us in the first half until that last drive. And then I think after that, once we started putting together all 11 people getting the job done, we started to do some pretty good things.
And defensively, you're down 14-0 and two quick scoring drives for Yankton, and all of a sudden you're down 21-0. That defense really started to put a lot of pressure on the Yankton offense and forcing Bestie to throw the football with a lot of coverage and forcing him to throw it, not just run with it. What was the adjustment kind of to make, or maybe not an adjustment, but that you saw from this defense to really force some throws from Tate Bestie?
Yeah, I think they did a really good job adjusting rush-wise. Because I think, a couple times in the first half when we kind of just teed off and rushed, if you get pushed inside and you get them around the edge, especially if we're playing two-man or something like that behind it, guys are locked in on their receiver, not so much worried about the quarterback. And I think our rush lanes were a little better later. And then, I think it probably felt a couple times like he had forever. But some of that is by design, just because you don't want him to feel like he has to scramble and then scramble when people are in man, because that's how you get, we had that one in the first quarter that was probably a 30-yard scramble. just off of he didn't have a choice. So, we beat him to the inside on a rush, and he steps outside of it, and then everyone's in man turning. So, some of that was an adjustment that, again, he made some great throws. I think we made some good plays in some coverage, but, ultimately, like I said, we just one play short today.
Yeah, and those plays were there. The first offensive play of the game, Terwilliger has to go right off his fingertips, and you had at least 2 others that were set up for really, really big gains. It was just an inch or 2 off the fingertips and things like that. So the plays were there to be made. Did, as you said before, Bestie, his scrambles in the first half, did that kind of affect what you did in the 2-minute drill at the end as far as containing him and making sure that he didn't get out and hurt you that way?
Yeah, it did a little bit, and again, we tried to keep the ones that really hurt were them getting out of bounds.
Yeah.
We wanted to force him to throw to beat us because, again, he's an athletic kid, and, you get him scrambling, and when everyone's kind of worrying about coverage, you're really susceptible to some just big plays. And then you've got the receivers that are able to block downfield. We were trying to keep things in bounds. Zero's a heck of a player. He made a couple really good plays. The one over-the-shoulder catch on 3rd down going out of bounds was a great play. So I said those were the hard ones because those are free timeouts. If you keep them in bounds, they would only had 1 left, and, they probably would have had to go for a field goal at some point.
Before we start to move on to O'Gorman, Carter Schuffelbein goes down with an injury, doesn't finish out the game. Caleb Lounsbury goes down. We don't know. From our standpoint, we didn't know because it ended up being the 2-point conversion. What's the status on both those guys, or is it more of a wait and see how the weekend goes?
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I said Carter was done for the day. Caleb, we'll see.
Okay. O'Gorman's next week. They got a upset win over Jefferson tonight. 11 AAA opponent. You probably maybe spent a little bit of time looking at them prior to this week, but probably not a whole lot of time. One, because you can spend time on looking at other teams because they're playing other 11 AA teams. O'Gorman obviously has not played that. So what's the initial thought of playing O'Gorman next week? What you expect from them?
Yeah, they'll be a good football team. We haven't really looked at them yet. Again, the game is what it is. It's one of those ones we want to go play, we want to go win, but at the end of the day, we don't have to beat them to win the state title. So we just want to find a way to improve next week and be ready for the stretch.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks for coming up here, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
That is head coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors as the Yankton Bucks win 35-28 here this evening. Mendel, your final thoughts on the game?
No, just a really hard-fought game, a good high school football game. Take away the outcome, and it's a really good, fun game to watch, a great night for football in South Dakota, and 2 really good teams that I think learned a lot about themselves, and they'll get better because of it.
Well, Pierre Governors will travel to O'Gorman on Friday, 5 o'clock kickoff next week. Coverage at 4:30, 5 o'clock kickoff here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. As that'll wrap things up for us here from Yankton High School, or Yankton Crane Youngworth Field at KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting Station. I want to say thanks to Eliza Mayer back at the station. For Mendel Miller, John Winkler, 35-28 win for Yankton over Pierre, as we say so long from Yankton.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Sports on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors are brought to you by Bank West, Allied Plumbing, Beck Motors, Home Care Services, Venture Communications, Vilas Pharmacy, Todd's Electric, State Farm Insurance, CHS River Plains, and Zander Auto Parts. And by Wheelhouse Auto Body, Slumberland, SD7, Shane's Pharmacy, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, First Fidelity Bank, Country Carpet and Flooring, and Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping. And by Wagner Auto, Sanford Clinic, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, American Family Insurance, Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Envirotech, First National Bank, and Faith Lutheran Church. And by Kruger Climate Systems, River Bottom Sanitation, Rising Hope Counseling, Pizza Ranch, Olson Plumbing, Dakota Storm Roofing, Ferding Electric, James Valley Landscaping, Lamb Motors, May Adam, and First Dakota National Bank. And by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Kruger Contracting, Karsten Erickson Roofing, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, and First United Methodist Church. Join us all season for more of the Pierre Governors. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting, Central South Dakota's